Harris again on this right-hand side. Nick Kay, the rookie of the year last season, looking for the handoff to Norton. Former Crocodiles with 4 on the shot clock. Here's Norton going in at Mitchell. Kicks it out. Harris for 3. Did he get it off in time? Doesn't matter. Rebound. Falls to Norton. And that goes in. Fortuitous basketball there for the Hawks, but they'll take it. 16-6 down at the moment.
Well, you're going to have to scrap when you got this big a deficit early on. And if there's one thing the Hawks are, it's scrappers.
Oh, wow. Corey Webster. He is feeling it tonight. Corey Webster and Mika Vakona are dialed in.
But Corey Webster gets so much pressure taken off of him when he doesn't have to be the lead ball handler. So David Stockton coming in, being able to be that point guard, enables him to be a return to that scoring mindset that he has most of the time.
David Stockton today just casually wandering around the channels on Sky and stumbled across the ESPN documentary. I think it's an NBA TV documentary in the 1984 draft, talking about John Stockton. I think he was the 16th pick in '84.
Wow, that's going to the way back machine.
And they had David Stockton on it, playing for Gonzaga, his old man school, but also had a little bit of a grab from David Stockton, talking about his father. And of course, his father, all-time NBA leader in assists and steals. And I promise it'll be the last time I bring up his dad on here, because I'm sure he gets it a lot. Norton. Now it's Martin, Reece Martin. Reece Martin, you're going to love his game. He is savvy. There you go. Instantly, things are happening for the Hawks and as soon as Reece Martin gets on.
There's something about that trip across the straight that really just gets him going. I mean, he loves playing in this city. Down the stretch, he's been a breaker killer for years, but I think just his patience and his ability to both knock down the jump shot and get to the hole has just always been a real thorn in the side of these breakers units.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, Case. It is the patience of Reece Martin.
Yeah, he does. He really does a good job of sort of just waiting for his opening and changing speeds. He's not the fastest guy in the league, but he does an excellent job of going from 0 to his top speed, and just a heartbeat.
Tom Abercrombie back in the game with the ball now, looking to Stockton. Skip pass to Penny. Penny for 3. Left it short, but Penny gets the rebound. Penny with a 16-17-footer. Nails it.
Second chance opportunity after second chance opportunity for the Breakers. The Wollongong, the Illawarra Hawks need to control their glass.
Harris was stripped by Vakona. Here's David Stockton in the open court. Penny for 3.
Kirk Penny catching fire. Nice pass right there in the shooting pocket, right where you want it.
23-8. The Breakers on a tear to open the game. Norton in the corner to Harris, thought about it. Martin contested 3. That's good. Reece Martin for 3.
Well, when nobody else is shooting the ball, he will do it. Got to give him a little bit more respect than that. You give him that space. He certainly has the ability to knock it down.
Vakona goes right at Oscar Foreman. Akil Mitchell and 1.
Well, Mika Vakona always a threat with that fake handoff to turn the corner afterwards, and comes down, finds his bash brother, Akil Mitchell, with that little drop-off pass, and Mitchell does the rest, fighting through the contact for a three-point play the old-fashioned way, but chances are he won't get it.
And there is Akil Mitchell going strong. Mentioned earlier, just some key offensive putbacks in that win over Perth.
That's what he does so well. Creates on his own as he makes the free throw. Akil Mitchell struggling from the line this year, but makes this one. But he is just a handful because of his quickness and athleticism underneath the basket, and really his motor, his drive to go get it as well.
Breakers shooting 52%, Hawks 33% so far, with under 2 to go in this first quarter. Here's Michael Holyfield down low. Foreman gets a hand to it. Stockton, they're looking to trap him as Kevin White picks him up. And Vakona is picked up by Martin. Abercrombie knocks down another 3. Oh, it's just raining points here at the North Shore Event Center.
When the Breakers get past the first line of defense, the rotations behind have been very sloppy by the Hawks so far.
Conrad in the game. Holyfield with the handoff to Reese Martin. And it will be the foul called on David Stockton.
Nice action by the Hawks, working off that low post. Michael Holyfield.
Why couldn't they get his name done in time? He's been here a week. There's no name on the bag.
I think.
What's going on, Dylan Boucher?
Oh, no, they don't like to get names for the guys who fill in for people. They just like to have
Is that
play
your
with that
singlet?
Is
that your singlet?
Definitely
sure?
not. I'm positive.
Casey Frank played a couple of seasons ago. Izzy Tueta in the game.
Too reachy there. It's always a smart play by the ball handler. When you see that hand reaching in, grabbing the arms, if you attack, should be a foul right away. Reese Martin, the heads up, bringing himself to the line.
Reese Martin has dragged the Illawarra Hawks back into this first quarter as he makes the first. Reese Martin now with 6 points.
And he's scoring just enough to keep them within touch distance, not allowing the Breakers to blow this one out. But the Hawks are going to have to look at themselves and find some answers defensively, because 28 points with a minute left to go is not good enough to win on the road.
It was all Hawks last season, and here comes the defensive intensity. Last season it was the Cody Ellis game at VEQTA Arena, sending the game into overtime when the Breakers looked to have it in the bag. Penny was out with a sore hamstring near the end of the game. 5 to shoot. Webster, perfect situation for him. And rattles it down. Corey Webster, 9 for him. And Rob Beveridge just throws his hands up. He did. And welcome to the league, Michael Holyfield. Have they told you? I don't know if they've told you about Mika VEQTA.
Well, he went up strong. Mika VEQTA didn't even talk. Personally, I don't think Mika thinks that's even a hard foul.
I'm pretty sure Mika gave him the welcome to the NBL bit at the end.
Mika doesn't talk much on the court. And when he does, to be fair, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Here we see nice pass by Kevin White and a good hard foul.
Oh, wow, that's
and
hard.
And the push down to the head afterwards.
There it is.
Well, how about that Corey Webster shot just before? Rattling it home. When he shot it, I thought, man, that's going to be tough to get over the defender. Martin came back and challenged that nicely, but the moon ball by Corey Webster somehow finds its way in anyway.
Michael Holyfield out of Sam Houston State University.
Oh, Sam Houston. Got a nice gym down there.
Kevin White just fought hard for that rebound and came up with naught, unfortunately for the Hawks. 31-16.
Look at the battle inside, going after the basketball. Off of face. Kevin White still fighting for it, doesn't get it done.
Abercrombie with a beautiful pass. VEQTA pulled up on it, kicks it out to Corey Webster. Hawks should get a possession out of this as we come towards the end of this first quarter with Mika VEQTA spinning to the cup.
Beautiful move by him. When he really puts his head down and decides to score in the post, very difficult to defend.
10 seconds to go in this first quarter at the North Shore Events Centre. Game number 2, around 7. 5. Martin lost it. Bobbled. Who has it? And that will do it for this first quarter at the North Shore Events Centre. Corey Webster has 9. Reese Martin leads the Hawks with 7. And the Breakers shooting 59%. 33-16 after 10 minutes.
Yeah, the defense just was not good enough in that first quarter for the Hawks. In particular, when you're playing offensively like they are, only shooting 38.5% from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. Getting smashed on the rebounds, 11-6. Right now, the Hawks are in that huddle. Got to find some fire, got to find some answers, because they had none in the first quarter.
Yeah, the Breakers have missed more shots than the Illawarra Hawks have made.
I mean, you just look at the Breakers team is normally pretty sloppy with the basketball. Hawks just not playing tight enough defensively, only forcing 1 turnover in the corner while giving up 5 themselves.
Let's get into some horns, handoffs, staggers, cut hard. If they're face guarding it, back cut it, we want it back. Maybe curl it. Right now, I think we're getting outplayed everywhere. They want, I mean, there was a loose ball and they're getting it. We've got to keep it away. Go to it, back to man. On any turnouts, so when they go back turnout, we're going to 2. But it's man-to-man stance here. Know where the shooters are. This guy, lock, get out, bump down, close out hard. Go and then chase him behind. Does that make sense?
Tom Abercrombie started the flood from downtown, and the Breakers just busted this game wide open, Casey.
For me, it was the play of VEQTA. His physicality, his desire to get the basketball, and just the lack of intensity of that second line of defense by the Illawarra Hawks. Just not doing enough defensively to take things away. David Stockton, nice to see him come in and hit a big bucket too.
And there's David Stockton, number 43. Apparently all unis come from the NBL, not Dylan Boucher. Had that passed on to me by an insider. So apologies to Dylan Boucher. I'm sure I'll hear about it next week.
He's always scanning the replay. Scans the replay to see if he's been mentioned for sure. No.
They started 12-0 in this game, and their biggest lead has been 17, which is what they enjoy right now, 33-16. And the Illawarra Hawks are keen to get this game underway again. Out there already, they're 5.
Well, Rob Beveridge doesn't have anything to say that these guys don't know. We're not playing good enough. Let's go out there and play. It's not, when you're down 33-16, it's not a question of strategy. It's a question of effort and intensity. And you got to go inside and find some of it.
And the only starter out there, in fact, there is no starter out there for Illawarra. They're all sitting to begin the second quarter for the Hawks. Breakers out there with Webster, VEQTA, Mitchell, Abercrombie, and Tueta. VEQTA is all over Reese Martin at the moment.
Wow.
Cody Ellis.
Wow.
Martin tried to drop it off. We have a whistle on the baseline, and I think that's going to be on Akil Mitchell.
Did I just watch VEQTA challenge a pass on the wing and then tip it on the post at the same time? He is fired up today. He looks like a guy who's healthy for the first time in about 6 months.
I think that's it, doesn't it? He looks like they're into the rhythm of the season. There's some fluidity, although there's been some disruptions to the point guard role. Shea Ely can't start the season just yet with a fractured back as Cody Ellis gets a hand in the passing lane. A rare turnover for the Hawks. Rather a rare steal for the Hawks. As Martin turns the corner, thinks about it, kicks it out. Ellis, straight away 3. Too strong. Conrad with the board.
And a little bit more hustle from the Illawarra.
Here comes Reese Martin, who tracks it down in the corner. Holyfield lost it. Here comes Webster. Webster. Right hand dribble. Conrad on him. Inside to VEQTA. Beautiful cut and pass.
Well, way too out of place. Off the basketball has really gained him a lot of supporters with this Breakers organization. And VEQTA loves to be a facilitator down there on that low block.
Martin, Holyfield up top. Mitchell hangs right off him. And the net result of that is Conrad's going to be called for the offensive rebound. And you hang off Holyfield, it means that his defender can just get a hand up in the face of Cody Ellis.
It certainly does, able to drop down. Good recognition by Keelan Mitchell to drop down off that as Corey Webster went for the steal because he had the mismatch. Mitchell saw that mismatch, came to give him the help, and Tim Conrad just a little bit too aggressive on the O glass.
Tueta. Martin on his hip. Abercrombie. Close out on him. Tueta. Bumped. Can't get it to drop, and Izzy Tueta will go to the line to shoot 2.
I mean, I'm just looking at a lot of confusion by the Illawarra Hawks defensively. They're doubling off at strange times, leaving guys completely unguarded and putting a lot of pressure on that second line of defense. You know, it's tough to play basketball when you're always going 3-on-2 defensively.
Second and third foul shots of the game for the Breakers, shooting 62%. That's basically what they average from the foul line for the season, but that is their field goal percentage in this game. They're just getting everything going their way.
Yeah, man, shooting the heck out of the basketball while playing solid defense at the same time.
Tueta good on the second. 37-16. North into Alice. Alice, left hand. Alice tries to go around Akil Mitchell. Great defense from Akil Mitchell with the rebound, and he leads the break. Mitch Norton picks him up. And Akil Mitchell just takes him right down. Oh, strong side block. Wow.
Holyfield knocking that one out of the park. Man, just comes over with the help, smacks it, goes high for it too.
Respect to Sam Houston's 4th all-time leading shot blocker.
I like block shotters too.
I like block shotter as well. Abercrombie's foul taken to 3.
Well, all the good he did took away a little bit of it there. Getting called for that foul afterwards, he disagrees with it. Holyfield, a big man, but hasn't been able to use it to great effect yet.
He and Kevin White take a seat as Rodney Clark and AJ Ogilvy check in the game. Rodney Clark looking to get started in this game, let alone this season, shooting under 40% and shooting just 34% from deep as well as Rodney Clark, averaging under 14 points a game. He was lights out for Illawarra. This is his 2nd go-around for the Hawks.
He was incandescent his first time through the league. I mean, he was unstoppable at the worst of times. At the best of times, I mean, he's an inferno flaming down the court, shooting the basketball from anywhere. Almost Steph Curry range before anybody knew really what Steph Curry range was. I mean, he'd cross half court and try and shoot it. He just hasn't seen that same offensive explosion yet this season.
Tipped, turnover, another one. Breakers come away with it. Here's Webster. Tueta. With Mitchell fighting with Cody Ellis on the block, and Ellis will pick up the foul.
Cody Ellis is a grinder. He's always getting physical in there, using his hands, using his body, and whatever else he's got hidden inside that jersey to play defense, getting inside there. If you're going to foul a guy, Kelly Mitchell is the guy to foul on this Breaker squad.
Finn Delaney gets some minutes in this first half. He checks in. There's Penny and Stockton at back.
Well, Finn Delaney's been doing a great job of earning those minutes in the limited opportunities he does get. Every time he touches the court, and this is always a lesson for young players out there, he does positive things. He works hard, he attacks the glass, and he makes good things happen without having to have the basketball.
Akil Mitchell will check out if he makes his 2nd, but given the way he shot the first, I think Finn Delaney might wait a little bit longer. In saying that, he'd probably make this one.
Oh, no.
Nope. Nope, same result. Here's Norton. 40-16. Norton. There you go. Excuse me, Rodney Clark.
It comes off the screen. Stockton just a little bit late, trailing behind. Rodney Clark had all the space he needed.
Just a 2 for Rodney Clark. Deserved to be 3. Pledger. Stockton. Fake the pass. Puts it up. Pledger had it slapped away.
And another offensive rebound opportunity. This one just goes to the team.
They're just checking Michael Aylen's coming over, lead referee, and they reckon that was a 3.
They're going to check it out now, going to the tape. Michael Aylen had it right on it. He said 3-point shot at 7-11. He knew exactly where he was going.
This is why Michael Aylen's one of the best. He's been to the Olympics.
Oh, and the computer cuts out right as he's looking at it. We lost the feed. Here we see it here. Definitely a 3, no question. We just showed the replay there. He doesn't want to take our word for it, though.
Shout out to...
If our truck could show the replay one more time for Michael Aylen to get it.
Can we get that again, guys, just in the truck? Yeah, I'm directing from the floor. Michael Aylen would like to see the replay again. Shout out to MacBook Pros for crashing.
Truck's not listening to us, though. We're not going to see the replay. $40-19 will be the score once they confirm this 3-point shot.
Tommy, Stockton, and who am I with? Chief here. All right, just want to break to get open. All right, make a good lead. Release passes out here, Kirky. All right. From here, Kirky, you're going to inbound. So there. Stockton, you're here to get this pass. Chief, give it a 1 count. Don't chase him straight away. You're coming into middle one ball. All right, bang. So you got shooter here, Stockton. You're going to see a hammer screen for Tommy. All right, Chief's on the rim. All right, just make a play out of there. Okay, everything good? Man on zone. All right, here we go. Hey, stay locked in, Rodney Clark.
And here's Rodney Clark, just confirming that. That is a 3 to be confirmed.
Thanks to the on-the-ball replay team in the truck right now, right on top of it.
Shout out to Kerrigan. It's just him tonight. It's just him most nights.
Apologies.
Sorry, Kerrigan.
I didn't know you were on your own.
Let's be honest. The hardware beside us crashed.
It's true.
We showed the replay twice.
It's true. He was onto it. Sometimes we ask too much.
We do. Our expectation levels are way too high. 40-19. 6:51 to go in this first half at the North Shore Event Centre. Finn Delaney gives it to Abercrombie. David Stockton with 9 on the shot clock, trapped. Pledger bubbled it, thought about it, and couldn't quite get it down. It's Conrad all alone for 3. That rattles down.
Timmy Conrad, just such a weapon with that 3-point shot that he's developed over his time in the league.
Plenty of time into this game, just because the Breakers have started out hot. Kirk Penny goes down. He's a little ginger after that. As you can see here, Penny tried to show it, and no foul call. Penny just goes out, down, and
just lost the ball on his way out.
Ball 40-22. Conrad. There's Clark. Stopped him right on him. Clark to the cup. Beautiful, nice. And absolutely devastating from Rodney Clark. And they're trapping David Stockton hard.
There's just a lack of second-level help right now in this game.
Pledger. Wow. Finn Delaney on the offensive glass.
Comes in, does good things, attacks the glass after Alex Pledger coming in trying to play like a 2-guard.
There's Norton. Clark's going right at David Stockton.
Of course he's got somebody his size.
Here's Conrad. Alice posting up Abercrombie. Cody Alice too strong. The big frame of Alex Pledger's there and the key to pick it up. Stockton drives hard. Left hand finish. That's nice from David Stockton.
Yeah, really nice to use his body to box out the defender. Finish with the left. Difficult play on the run. There we see it, catches it on the move. No defender in front of him. I mean, the defense has been lacking tonight in the stretch back to finish with the left hand.
Marvell Harris checks in the game for Illawarra. AJ Ogilvy's out there, as is Clark. We've got Alice and Norton's bringing the ball up for Illawarra. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in this half. 44-24. Rodney runs the baseline. Rodney Clark flings a 3. Ogilvy on the offensive glass, gets the board. There's Norton on the baseline. Up over Alex Pledger.
Oh, and one, and then AJ Ogilvy shoved him back after he landed. Alex Pledger just too late with that help. Everything for both teams here in this second quarter has been a half step at least behind on those defensive rotations. There we see it. Nice recognition by Norton. Kirk Penny expects the help, doesn't get it. Alex Pledger, tough to block shots from the other side of the rim, and just he lands on him for good measure.
Norton completes the 3-point play. 44-27. Abercrombie in the corner, Ogilvy on him, mismatch. Abercrombie, Ogilvy's doing a good job. Stockton, he's got to hit that, and he nails it. He leaves the hand up in the air.
This is a confident player. He's coming in, taking the shots when they come to him.
Speaking of which, Rodney Clark goes straight into his chest and drops it off the glass.
Rodney Clark trying to reclaim some of that old magic.
This is a fun matchup we've got going on right now. Clark drops it off to Pledger. David Stockton, Rodney Clark. Alex Pledger, the recipient of that beautiful pass.
Yeah, he'd love to be a big man in the right place at the right time. Makes it easy.
Backdoor cut, knocked away by Pledger. Penny saves it. Here comes Abercrombie. It's all happening here in the second quarter. Into NSEC. Pledger. Wow, all alone.
Alex Pledger rolls hard enough. Everybody respects Thomas Abercrombie's jump shot, and once again, miscommunication leads to an easy bucket.
2 straight buckets for Alex Pledger, and we got a whistle away from the ball. And Tim Brown on the baseline.
Kirk Penny is slightly surprised. That calls on him with a wry smile.
Kay into the game for Illawarra. Ellis will sit down. Webster checks in for Abercrombie, and Mitchell comes in for Pledger. Harris will get play underway. 51-29. Clark, miscommunication there to Kay. Rodney wanted him to go up and meet it.
Well, when Mitch Norton lost the ball up top, it just changed the timing of the entire play. So once Clark got it, he was not quite where he wanted to be looking at. Oh, it was a nice play by Marvell Harris to almost get the steal. But just that timing, the disruption of timing really changed everything up and knocked them out of their rhythm.
Illawarra 4 and 5. The Breakers 5 and 4. Webster at the 1. Stockton playing off the ball. Penny has it. Mitchell flings it across to Webster, who gives it to Delaney. One-hand flush.
I'm surprised he came down still looking mad. I thought he was going to be happy as a clam, but he smashed that bad boy.
Kate. Finn Delaney jumping up around, and AJ Ogilvie, excuse me, that was Kate. Just used this patience. Gets the bucket.
Well, excellent use of the pivot foot by Nick Kay on that possession.
Ogilvie over the top of Mitchell. Finn Delaney just muscles Akil Mitchell out of the way. Webster, one dribble to the right. Left it just short. And here comes Norton. Rodney Clark.
David Stockton playing defense on everybody.
Ogilvie strong and goes down. Finn Delaney. He's like a big Labrador puppy, just banging into everything and furniture all around the house.
Well, he's a Nelson product, so he certainly came from that Mick Vacona school of hard knocks. He understands how to deliver a foul when somebody's got a layup.
Martin in the game as David Stockton gets a nice round of applause from this Breakers crowd. They appreciate the effort. And there's Finn Delaney with the right hand.
And trying to do chin-ups on that rim.
Wow.
That's looking like a warm-up dunk.
Ogilvie good on the first. AJ Ogilvie this season shooting 60% from the foul line. Averaging 10 points and 7 boards for Illawarra. 53-33. Toyota has the ball. Penny, up fake. Reece Martin has seen that quite a lot last season. And he didn't make him pay to Coop Penny. Here's Clark, fall away. Webster with the board.
Neither team seems all that concerned about defense at the moment. As you see Kirk Penny cutting to the basket on a nice find by Corey Webster. But the Breakers are certainly happy to keep scoring. The Hawks need to find some other kind of answer.
Webster gets all of Rodney Clark there on the cut. And that's just the 4th team foul with 1:48 to go in the second quarter. Mick Vacona will check in for Finn Delaney. Present comes in for the future. Here comes Abercrombie. Penny checks out. Marvell Harris will get us back underway. Ogilvie with the left hand.
Pretty move. Oh, well, pretty in not in execution, but in finish. Ogilvie going through everybody. Just using that bulk.
Mitchell to Tueta. Corey West tonight looks like he just wants to shoot it every time he gets it, and he knows that's not part of the offensive sets they're running. He's just got this little head nod, this glint in his eye. I just want to put a shot up. I'm feeling it.
Just give me the basketball. Scorers like to score. That's how it goes. Mika VEQTA. Couldn't see. Looks like he got called for the offensive foul there. So
just 2 on him. And there's the 15th foul on the Breakers.
Breakers have a slew of players on 2. Pledger, Stockton, VEQTA, Webster as well. Only 2 for Cody Ellis on the Hawks.
Hey, just dropped the handle straight into Tueta.
Well, when you're chasing those screens up top, especially when you're not as big as the guys that are screening you, you can come in full speed and hit that thing, and sometimes it looks a little bit worse than it is.
I think the foul was actually called on AJ Ogilvie. Before that shoulder landed on Izzy Tueta. Breakers still with his 20-point lead. They blew the game wide open from the very beginning. Abercrombie swings it to Tueta. Puts up the right hand. Everything is dropping tonight for the Breakers.
Man, how did this guy not have a job at the start of the season?
That's what Paul Henade said when they picked him up. When Shaley went down, he was surprised that he wasn't in the league.
I mean, it really says a lot for the quality of those lower divisions in Australia. Talking about places, leagues like the Siebel, where these guys are trying year after year to crack this only 8-team league. So difficult, but it's Tueta.
They have a sticky situation coming up when Shea Ely comes back. He just got a new contract with the Breakers, a full contract. Tueta, he stays. Dave Stockton looks the goods. Ben Woodside's recuperating from that foot injury.
That's a lot of point guards. It's always difficult to make those decisions when guys come back from injury, but that's the nature of the business.
Harris, Kay, inside to Ogilvie. AJ Ogilvie just smothered by the Breakers defensively. Here comes Abercrombie. Found the contact, put it up, no whistle. Good defense by Reese Martin. Here's Clark. Clark to Harris. Reese Martin.
Nice
25 seconds. Sorry, Case. Kay faces up. No. He backs down for Delaney. Oh, the running hook shot. Nick Kay.
That's a Nick Kay special. Only 14 on the clock now for the Breakers, but Nick Kay always a danger with both hands on that running hook.
Finn Delaney. 5 to shoot. Tueta, does he know it? Does now. Puts it up. And we're done. After one half of basketball at the North Shore Event Centre. The Breakers well in control. 57 to 38, shooting 58%. The Breakers head into the changing sheds. And before they do that, Kurt Penny's with Hugh Bainan.
Thank you, Andrew. Here with Kurt Penny, and Kirk, a fantastic start that's given you this lead.
Yeah, I think we came up with a lot of energy and got up early. It was a good start, a great start for us. We need to keep it going though, because the third quarter's gonna be tough.
And just after a couple of training sessions together, the combination of you and David Stockton seems to be working well.
Yeah, you can see he's very skilled, pushes the ball, looks for easy baskets, and so far it's been a lot of fun.
Thanks, Kurt. Good luck in the second half.
Always appreciate the time given to the players, and now it's Rodney Clark with Hugh Bainan.
Thank you, Andrew. Yes, Rodney Clark from the Hawks there. Rodney, a close second quarter there, a lot more intensity, but just a bad start let you down.
It was a horrible start. We didn't come out ready to play, and they jumped on us quick. And we know they're a team that can do that. They can knock down shots, and they got away from us. Well, we had better intensity in the second quarter. We need to start better in the second half for sure, or this game's going to get out of hand.
An interesting night for Breakers fans with a new player, David Stockton. An interesting matchup for you.
Yeah, he's tough. You know, I played him in college. He's got an all-around game. He can distribute the ball. He can shoot it. So he's a tough challenge.
Thanks for your time. Best of luck.
We'll be back very shortly. The Breakers leading by 19, 57 to 38. Game number 2 of round number 7 of the NBL season. Back shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the Under-16 Mountain Game. And now, the idea of the court for you this time around, Breakfast. Please give it up the drum line.
Welcome back to North Shore Events Centre, 57-38. The Breakers very comfortable lead. 24 points was their biggest lead, and they have 32 of their 57 points in the paint. And we're not showing you first half highlights. We're going to show you Mika Vakona and Dave Stockton highlights. And first up, Mika Vakona with 4 assists, 5 boards, 2 points, 2 steals. Mika Vakona is looking fresh for the Breakers. Just a menace, covering the court at will. You see the court he covers. The cut from Tueta rewards him with the bounce pass, and Mika Vakona looking sharp. And David Stockton looks the goods. He is absolutely a handle for Illawarra, and there is just another bucket. And to be fair, the Illawarra Hawks had no idea where he was. Good from inside, good from outside. David Stockton, number 43, he was holding off Rodney Clark, finds Alex Pledger, and he gets the bucket. Just banging on the drums. That's what the Breakers are doing to the Illawarra Hawks. Here's Casey and Hugh with a wrap of the first half.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, Casey, 57-38, but that second quarter was a lot closer than the scoreboard makes it look, and that's because of the start the Breakers had.
Yeah, when you come out like that, be able to score 10 points right off the bat, 14-2 run, really puts the opposition in a tough hole, especially on the road. And the Breakers certainly just had more energy to start the game. The Hawks weren't ready to play like they needed to be.
And that might be because Mika Vakona has clearly had his Weet-Bix.
Yeah, he's looking like a new man today, looking like a young Mika Vakona. Maybe not like a 22-year-old, but like the 29-year-old Mika Vakona version. But he came out really aggressive on the offensive glass, getting his team extra possessions, solid defensively, and even looked to score a few times as well.
Well, let's see if the Hawks can do anything to combat him in the second half. We'll be right back on Sky Sports.
back to the North Shore Events Centre. It's half-time between the New Zealand Breakers and the Illawarra Hawks. The second game of round 7. Just the one game tonight in the league. And it's pretty one-sided at the moment. The Breakers leading the Hawks 57-38, Casey.
Yeah, solid all-around offensive performance by the Breakers. 11 for Abercrombie, 7 for Penny, 6 for Pledger. Everybody's getting in. Corey Webster with 9, and 9 off the bench for David Stockton. Most impressed by that, him being able to come in and just really score the basketball with some ease.
Just an adjustment to David Stockton's points total. I'm not sure if I mentioned he had 11 before the break. He's been adjusted to 9. Mika Vakona just working on, you know what, it's pretty awesome just to see Mika Vakona do his thing, but he's working on a Nick Batum-esque 5x5.
Oh, 5x5.
Which is pretty hard to do in
rare
40
game.
minutes.
For everybody who doesn't know, that's 5, at least 5 in 5 different statistical categories. And if anybody can do it, Mika Vakona's the guy.
Right, let's go to Hugh, who has Coach Paul Henade with him.
Thank you, Andrew. Paulie Henade, how about that start?
Yeah, good start, but you know, obviously the challenge is now to how do we respond after that. We know the Hawks are going to respond, and we're going to need more of the same in the second half.
David Stockton's introduction to the game and to a Breakers uniform was seamless. How much did we put on his shoulders this week?
Oh, really just told him before the game, just go out and be aggressive and play your natural game. If that's his natural game, we'd like to see more of that.
Hope to see more in the second half. Thanks, Paulie.
Always appreciate the time from the coaches and the players to talk to the broadcast crews around the league. And they're on their feet with the second half coming up.
Well, the coaches love those little chats as well. They're really into them most of the time.
And to be fair, for Mika Vakona, he will have to get 5 blocks. And this
It's possible.
second half.
You never know.
You never know. It is loud at the North Shore Event Centre. And the Breakers, this is in stark contrast to what it was like last Friday night at VEQTA Arena against the Cairns Taipans. They were in a dogfight against a team who doesn't really score that much at a high pace, but Cairns Glenn, especially down the stretch, absolutely nailed it on the road.
Well, that was the offensive performance of the season for the Taipans, and the Breakers look to take a lesson out of their bout.
Underway in the third quarter from the North Shore Event Centre. It's Corey Webster at the 1. Kirk Penny down to Mika Vakona, back to Penny. Abercrombie on the weak side, Pledger's down on the other side of the block. Screen from Vakona. Webster with the miss.
A little 1-2-2 zone from the Hawks. Really has to do a lot of rotating out on that perimeter to make it successful.
Foreman starts the second half, and it's Clark. That miss is tough for Rodney Clark. He's wide open. A guy like him, he's got to make those shots for Illawarra. And Kid Penny misses at the other end. Ogilvie with the board. And that's nice.
AJ Ogilvie.
AJ Ogilvie
At the
showing
top.
the range.
Gives him the slingshot. To great effect.
AJ Ogilvie. Just his 3rd make of the season on 8 attempts now.
And a lot higher energy levels from the Hawks out here in the third quarter.
Abercrombie with the miss. Penny. He's not going to miss that. Wide open.
Well, everybody knows that fake's coming, but you gotta respect it, because if he shoots it and you don't have a hand up, it's going in. And when Rodney Clark flies by with that 1-2-2 zone, no help is coming if you go by the shooter.
Ogilvie, I should say, just lost it. Here comes Corey Webster. He loses the handle. Mitch Norton gets the steal, and it's going to be Corey Webster with the foul.
Corey Webster gets him in the side of the head, apparently.
Corey Webster is looking good, looking fresh. In fact, they all looked good and fresh in that first half. Everybody was getting buckets. That's his 3rd for Corey Webster as well. So we might see a bit more of David Stockton, who looked really good. It's the kind of game, to be fair, in the first half, as Clark gets to the cup. Rodney Clark shows his skills. To be fair, Case, it looks like the kind of game where if you're a new guy coming into a team, it opened up really nicely for you in the first half.
This is what you're hoping for. This kind of free-flowing offensive extravaganza. And Rodney Clark, impressive drive there. I'm always impressed when he fishes over the big footers.
Oh, bounce pass is so nice. Nick of the corner, the floor is your friend.
Well, he's making that pass without actually seeing Alex Pledger. He just knows where he's going to be and does a nice job with the wraparound.
19 points is the lead. Clark. Pledger with the board. Foul on, I think it's going to be on Mitch Norton.
And Rodney Clark just not quite where he needs to be. You know, these shots are shots we're used to seeing go in for him, especially in that MVP season a few years back. But it's a good look, plenty of space. He's getting the same kind of elevation when he's shooting that jump shot, but just not the same kind of results.
Webster sees a double team, finds Penny. Penny in the key, puts it up. Pledger gets the rebound, gets it in. Alex Pledger, the last couple of weeks, he has been really solid for the Breakers.
Just beefing him down there in the post.
Oh, nice bucket from Mitch Norton. Penny on one shoulder, the ball on the other, and flips it up and in.
Second level of defense not there for the help. Man. Mika Bacona crosses up. Oscar Foreman with ease gets fouled before he shoots the basketball. Ball's on the sideline.
Penny will trigger the inbound. Play as Webster comes to the ball. Doesn't need the Pledger screen. It's pushed off on Rodney Clark. And it will be Breakers' ball, I believe.
Yeah, another possession for the Breakers. Alex Pledger crashing hard, creating that possession. And Mika Bacona and Alex Pledger, not a lot of credit for these offensive rebounds, but they are the ones creating them.
Breakers getting a lot of second chances on their possessions. Penny for three, straight away is good. Solid screen set by Mika Bacona, and Penny is just deadly.
And so patient as a scorer is Kirk Penny, always taking that time until he gets the look he wants.
Penny 16 points now. Harris, strong move.
Marvell Harris goes through everybody, puts his head down, attacks the rim. They need a lot more of that.
Here's Abercrombie, spinning, hanging, rattling it down.
Man, that's tough. That spin, he creates so much space, forces the defender onto their heels, and then elevates to such a high degree. I don't know how anybody challenges it.
Norton tied up by Mika Bacona, and that will be foul number 3 on him. Keel Mitchell and David Stockton at the scorer's bench for the Breakers.
And some nice athleticism coming in off the court. And man, you look at David Stockton, how long are those arms?
I was going to mention how big his hands look as well, but they're long arms.
It seems almost from here like a quarter of those arms are his hands. I mean, that's a lot of length for a guy his height. I mean, certainly plays a lot longer because of that length.
69-47, Dave Stockton was very closely looked at by the Breakers, who decided to go with Ben Woodside to begin this season. Not a bad decision going either way with these guys. And here is Stockton with the ball. Interesting from Rodney Clark. These guys very familiar with one another through their collegiate careers. Dave Stockton gets the step on the right hand, flip off the glass.
Just a very clever move, using the body. Doesn't have to have a lot of athleticism when he can stretch out like that.
71-48. Mitchell now on Clark. Clark will go at Akil Mitchell. And Pledger will be called for goaltending. Hand up through the cylinder, through the ring, and bucket for Rodney Clark.
Grabbed that net as well when the ball was on the rim, and Rodney Clark working hard for the points he's getting. It's not coming easy for any of the Hawks.
Mitch Norton and Ogilvie trapping David Stockton, and that will be very good from the Hawks.
Well, just aggressive, and that's a big double team coming that way.
That's a great trap.
And Ogilvy came over and just really used his size to pressure him there.
AJ Ogilvy is a center. AJ Ogilvy is not a point guard.
Well, nice post up by Oscar Foreman, had excellent position. I don't know how successful he would have been against Mitchell in the post, but Ogilvy tried to give it to him. Just about 4 feet too high.
Penny in the corner. Pledger with the rebounds. Alex Pledger, is that the...
That is not a dunk.
Is that a dunk?
That is not a dunk.
I'm calling that a dunk.
That is a jump shot rim touch.
That's gone through the hoop, and I'm going to dunk it.
Those dunks only count when you're about 13 years old, not when you're 7'1" and a grown-ass man.
Alex Pledger with a dunk. Keel Mitchell. Look, the guy can actually dunk it, you know? Keel Mitchell. Beautiful move from Keel Mitchell, just too strong in the paint, and that's where they're just killing them in this game.
And they really are. The interior play by the Breakers this evening has been excellent. And just no resistance by the Hawks. Happy to trade buckets, but you can't do that down 25.
At least Marvell Harris has got it going to the cup for the Illawarra Hawks. Not a lot going on for them in the paint.
And that offense for the Hawks has become very one-dimensional. Just one guy trying to attack the rim while everybody else watches.
Penny, side of the backboard. 42 points in the paint of the Breakers, 75. Clark with a crossover step back. Drills it. Rodney Clark, you don't need him heating up.
Well, the Hawks do. The Hawks need it badly. They need some action.
Stockton, good defense by Norton. Great help by AJ Ogilvy.
And both teams have really fallen into the trap of not using the offense to score. Right now it's just one-on-one play, trying to get that going. Need to let the ball do some of the work, let the offense and the screening do some of the work instead of just trying to attack all the time.
And that's number 3 on David Stockton as well, interesting enough. So that's 3 on Webster, 3 on David Stockton. And Mikavikonen's got 3, but Tueta is on just the 1 foul, so a little bit of trouble there for the Breakers at the point guard spot, foul-wise. And in saying that, Corey Webster's checked back in the game. Delaney's out there as well, and Harris with his feet centered, shoulders square, can't get it. Finn Delaney has the ball, go to 1,000 miles an hour. Here comes Corey Webster, hanging in the air. Michael Holyfield's back in the game and gets the board. Martin. Outside to Kay. Kay drops it down.
And just like that, from 25 to 17, the tray ball, the great equalizer. Good recognition by Martin.
Very good quarter for Illawarra, fighting back in the second half of this third quarter. Just a horrendous start for Illawarra in this first quarter of the game. Stockton's tied up. Harris gets his hand in the lane. Harris has the ball. Harris to Tom Abercrombie, and he's fouled.
Thomas Abercrombie doesn't like that call. Close to getting a technical. But it looked like a lot of that contact is caused by Marvell Harris. It'd be interesting to see if Thomas Abercrombie brought his arm down to try and block it. I mean, don't know why that's a foul. I could see the argument from Thomas Abercrombie there, but to the aggressor grow the spoils on the fast break.
Harris at the line.
Never back me up against the refs. You always just let me call them out, and then you never say nothing for me. You're just silent over there.
New phone, who dis? Harris good on the second, 75-60. Fight back is on. Here come Illawarra. All over David Stockton. And they need to get that over, and they do not. Great trap from Martin and Clark, forcing Webster and David Stockton into a turnover.
This is what Pollinari was concerned about when he got interviewed by Hugh after halftime. You got to find that fire that you had at the start of the game. Tough to have when you're up 20 in that second half. That lead all the way down to 15.
Kay almost turned it over himself, just beating that 5-second call to get the ball back into play. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Hawks down 15. Kay. Martin for 3. Holyfield fights for the rebounds. Akil Mitchell has it. Here's David Stockton. Abercrombie with a settler. Abercrombie hits the settler.
David Stockton very good at getting that ball exactly where the shooter needs to get it on the first try.
Harris with the flip up. Mitchell with the rebound.
Jeez, manhandled and doesn't care.
Clark gets it. Poked away by Abercrombie, or was it a pass to Harris? Here's Harris in the post, faces up on Webster. Drives strong, and one.
Marvell Harris coming out aggressive once again when called for. Now up to 12, maybe 12 points on the evening, and just attacking the rim, going right at him, almost steps out of bounds, takes the contact, able to finish through it.
And that is foul number 4 on Corey Webster. 9 points for him. Marvell Harris at the line. Harris with his 12 points. Looking very good going into the paint.
With that 14 laid on the scoreboard.
It's Abercrombie just waiting for Pledger to check in. Finn Delaney takes a seat. So Tueta's out there for Webster. And Stockton has the ball. Abercrombie and Akil Mitchell. Kevin White's picked up David Stockton. 78-63. Here's Tueta. And we have a moving screen on Akil Mitchell.
He's called a few of those moving screens tonight. Both teams need to adjust to the way that's being called. They're not letting a lot of movement after that big man loses that contact. Just needs to get out of there.
Penny will come in for Abercrombie. Out there for Illawarra. It's Kay, White, Holyfield, Martin, and Tim Conrad back in the game. Nice feature on Tim Conrad on NBL.com.au. And he obliges by hitting the 3.
Down to 13. This Hawk team loves playing in this building.
Rob Beveridge, he sat most of this third quarter. Very calm and deep. The response from his team out of halftime has been excellent. Just got to get this Breakers lead under double figures as Tueta drives hard into the heart of the Illawarra defense.
And once again, the rotation of the ball from side to side knocks Illawarra out of whack defensively and allows for a pretty easy drive for Tueta to get right into the paint, at which point Holyfield had no choice but to foul him.
Tueta at the line. Coming into this game, he was just 9 of 11. He's given them good sporadic minutes when needed. Is he Tueta?
Well, he came in as an emergency point guard, and that emergency came to fruition. Then Woodside went down, and oh, he's going to get another free throw.
It's a lane violation. I think this is the first of the season for us, Case. This is my favorite call in all of basketball. Just let them shoot the basketball, you know?
No, you're not allowed in early.
Oh, come on, it's not that early, though. You look.
You don't know.
You get the replay, you look, you tell me it's like a microsecond.
Let's start watching replays of lane violations. That'd be great.
Hey, let's start calling lane violations. Unless it's egregious, you know? White the other way. Kevin White for 3. There it is.
Bang, bang. Choo-choo train down 11. Kevin White with the big tray ball on the break.
Paul Hanade is not happy. Maybe he wanted a timeout. 80-69. And what do we have?
Going to need to have the shot clock moving a little bit more than it was.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, something about the clock is annoyed Paul Hanade. Michael Aylin's over there.
Everybody's got to complain about the clock working right now.
I feel for whoever's responsible for the clock.
Well, Pollinari's got an argument with it, saying the ball went through, the clock stopped. With that second going, we should have the last possession of the half. And now Paul Henare is disagreeing. He's saying the whole game clock stopped, not just the shot clock. So this is going to give Illawarra another opportunity to score the basketball.
They get a stop here, get a bucket. That is into single digits, and that hasn't been that way since 9-0 when the Breakers led at the beginning of the game. They opened up 12-0, led by as much as 24. Breakers lead is 11. 7 on the shot clock. Stockton, crossover. Martin playing good defense on him. Turnover. Here's White. White to the cup. White can't get it to drop. Big rebound by Tom Abercrombie.
Well, huge.
Holyfield over the back is the call.
Abercrombie, the only black jersey anywhere around that play. Would have been an easy bucket for the Illawarra had he not gotten it.
3.1 seconds to go in this third quarter. Stockton dribbles through, puts it up, good if it goes. Almost banked it in. 3 quarters are done and dusted at the North Shore Event Centre. 80 to 71 is on my scoreboard, but it's 80 to 69 here.
We got different calls.
Whatever it is, we have got a game on as the Illawarra Hawks just put 33 on the Breakers in this third quarter. That's exactly what the Breakers put on them in the first quarter.
Well, different teams, certainly. Energy-wise, were the Hawks in that third quarter. Got a lot of good things out of that zone defense early.
I love our aggression there. So right now, if we're going to stop, push, get to the wings here. Maybe look at the lead post on that. If it's in, attack. Attack early in transition. If it's not, don't penetrate, feel behind. Okay, kick it on, we play out of that. Right, so transition, we're just like, 2-on-1.
And highlights galore, the Kirk Penny shot fake to tray ball. Always a favorite, Rodney Clark, not to be denied. Found some of that scoring prowess he's so well known for. Mika Makona with a nice dime off the left-hand wraparound. But this is where the Breakers are doing their damage on the offensive glass, attacking it. Kirk Penny, another tray ball. This is all rolling. One of the moves of the night, Thomas Abercrombie with that spin move. David Stockton with a little scoop shot. And Breakers highlights galore here. You'd almost think that the Illawarra Hawks hadn't made a comeback, but they did. Marvell Harris, he was big. Tim Conrad and the tray ball really helped out the Hawks as well. In particular, that one by Kevin White on the break.
It's game on in the North Shore Event Centre. That was one-sided through one half of basketball, but that third quarter from Illawarra has been superb.
Hey, defensively, I live with the Ogilvy 3, I live with the K3, I even live with the Kevin White 3. I can't live with the bullshit that we put out all over the other floor. Take care of the ball, that's feeding their offense. Take care of the ball, good offense leads to better defense down here. All right, let's go.
Strong words from Paul Henare in that timeout. 10 minutes to go. Breakers.
Well, what else do you say when you're up 25 and you let them get back into the ball game like that?
All right, let's go down to Tom Abercrombie.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, Tom, the Hawks are getting better quarter by quarter. What has Paulie said to stop them in the fourth?
I mean, some of the guys that don't shoot that well hit shots, and you live with that, but you know, they got too much stuff going in the room. We've got to do a better job.
So just a case of effort and intensity on D?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Just an effort of intensity on defense?
Yeah, I think we, you know, we took our foot off and relaxed a little bit. We can't do that.
Next up.
Yeah, it's loud here in the North Shore Event Centre. It's a unique venue. 80 to 69. Here's Penny. Illawarra look like they have just woken up defensively, and that Izzy Tuieta is exactly what the Illawarra defence would want with 4 to go on the shot clock. It's a little bit quiet here with the home crowd. Martin giving it up to Conrad. Nice pass. Beautiful bucket
movement without the basketball. Conrad not just settling outside, waiting for a jump shot, attacks the rim, looking for a possible offensive rebound, rewarded with the layup.
Mitchell. Oh, wow. I haven't seen that in a while. Mitchell gets the tip in.
I think they're good. Interesting that that wasn't an offensive goaltending. The ball was sitting on the rim, and when it's touching the rim, you're not supposed to touch it. But at the same time, the ball was sitting up there, and people were grabbing a net from the Illawarra, too.
Rob Beveridge wanted to travel on Mitchell on that initial shot attempt. White, it's a moot point now. Here's White giving it back to Kay. Kay, long two, off the dribble, no good. Stockton with the board. Ledger with the handoff. Connor's doing a good job on Kirk Penny on the weak side as Mitchell gathers it, faces up. Surrounded by three Illawarra Hawks. And Akil Mitchell as a case he's pleading with the referee, and no, he's not listening to him.
Well, he's begging for a foul there, but he's a little bit out of control. All started with the pass that was just a little bit off. He had to reach for it, fight for it, and caused him to sort of lose his balance before that move even started.
Makavakona back in the game. Mitchell will take a seat. Keil Mitchell's a frustrated man as he sits down.
It's tough coming off the bench, trying to really produce, and when things aren't going your way, you know you're not going to spend a lot of time out in the middle of the court.
It's been remiss of me not to bring up the fact that there's no Rob Lowe tonight. Rolled his ankle on the weekend, so that's why you haven't seen Rob Lowe. If you check back in the game, it's Marvell Harris. He's just been steady as you like in the second half, and Paul Henade sent enough timeout call for the Breakers.
Well, like you said, back to single digits. The Illawarra never outworked.
And this is what you want if you're the visiting team on the road, clawing your way back, getting the home team in trouble, sucking the life out of the gym with their home fans. Game on in the NBL.
But it's going around here. Like, I need someone to get in the lane. They come out and switch a hard show on the second side. That shit's got to go inside. Guards, if you feel a big showing on you, stop and roll in or reverse and look high-low. All right? Everyone understand? Right here, let's just get a walk up here and go a chin. All right? Roll it into Mika. Dave, you got flare screen coming for you. All right, bring either one of you guys up. I'm not sure. I'm not worried who's coming off. All right, beat this pressure first. Beat this pressure first. Get a good look down there. Tommy, you got ball out. Let's go, baby. Come on.
Well, what can the Breakers do now, Casey? Just the momentum has swung towards Illawarra in the second half.
It starts with taking care of the basketball. It starts with taking care of the basketball, and secondly, they got to play a little bit more intensely defensively. Everything the Breakers had in the first half, the Illawarra have found here in the second. David Stockton got that ball in the string.
Certainly does. Into a zone are the Hawks. Penny finding Vakona, dumping it off to Pledger. That's how you break down the zone. Nice basketball from the New Zealand Breakers.
And attacking the rim and interior passing, a lot of unselfishness on that play.
Here's Holyfield. Harris. Harris. Oh, nice drive. Vakona swooping in and grabbing the rebound. Here's Penny. Penny on White. Oh, wow. Kevin White just put his body on the line.
But when you see those kind of reactions physically from players and they bump up to Kirk Penny, that's when you're reminded this guy's 6'4", 6'5", and 105 kilo. That's a big guy for a guard to be trying to defend on the break like that, taking a forearm into the chest at the same time.
6:45 to go in the game. Just one foul call on the Hawks as a team.
Illawarra team is just locked in defensively right now, just a world apart from where you were earlier.
Here's Abercrombie. This is a good zone. Illawarra come up with a Breakers empty possession on that one. Kay for three. That's what Paul Hanade can live with. Vacona's on the floor, ripped away by Kay. Not sure if that should have been a fresh 20 though. Mitchell. Rather Pleasure with the rebound.
Big box out by him there, keeping Holyfield off the glass. Tapping it to Kirk Penny.
Stockton. Penny. Met at the foul line by three Hawks players, I should say. And he greets them with a three.
It's 20 seconds of excellent defense and 2 seconds of bad D, leaving Kirk Penny wide open behind the three-point arc is a recipe for a disaster.
87-73. Keel Mitchell will check back in the game, and Penny will take a seat. Kirk Penny tonight, 19 points. Slow start to the season scoring-wise for Kirk, but he has come on strong, as you'd expect from a guy like him.
I think they were just trying to learn how to play together. We've a little confusion on the court, but that is going to be a timeout. But it does take a lot of time to integrate a player the caliber of Kirk Penny into an offensive unit that was already explosive offensively, and especially with Corey Webster. Those two guys have such a overlaying skill set that it does take some time to figure out.
Now, it's a side ball now. Let's have, we're in two. We're in two. Okay, so let's have 5, 4. Actually, AJ, you come in for mine. Go away. No. Okay, here, so you can see. All right, so you're stepping out. Roddy, you're here. Okay, so step out, AJ. We're screening this guy here, so it's our zone 2. It's our zone 2. Flare it there. If he fights over the top, okay, right now, Nick, you're stepping into there. If it goes over the top, dive hard. Okay? All right?
Off this elbow, I want that fucking ball in the paint.
Alex Pleasure looks like a little bit of a hamstring issue in there, possibly a cramp.
Getting the rub down is Pleasure. And Kirk Penny can be the saviour offensively for the Breakers.
And Kirk Penny's come up big, 16 points for him and Thomas Abercrombie tonight.
If you just, sorry, Case, but if you just watch Kirk Penny, watch his feet. His feet are wider than his shoulders, and usually you're supposed to have your feet set shoulder width apart, but Kirk Penny uses all that power in his legs to get that shot up real quick.
I think what it does most for him is it squares him up to the basket every time. You never see him shoot a basketball when his shoulders and his feet aren't squared to it. He's always done such a good job of that balance and of finding that rim.
Yeah, you don't see Kirk Penny throw off a lot of leaners, a lot of fadeaways, as AJ Ogilvie throws it down with the right hand.
Well, Keel Mitchell gambles and loses on that one, opens the seams. AJ Ogilvie takes advantage.
Kirk Penny's form is pretty much the same no matter where he is on the basketball court. 87-75 on that Ogilvie dunk. Dribbles along to Akil Mitchell. Stockton, dead on 3. Rims out. Clark with the rebound. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in this game. Clark gets it back. Turns the corner, shoots the 3. Kay with a big board. Fresh 14.
Yeah, that's a huge rebound at this stage of the game. They can get a bucket here. They're still in distance.
Harris just picking apart the Breakers, kicks it out. Stockton closes out on Rodney Clark, who drops it down with 2 to go on the shot clock.
Well, Rodney Clark's used to seeing those closeouts of guys 6'4", so David Stockton, even with that length, couldn't challenge it.
Leaders
Corey
10.
Webster just slows it up, going to get that high on ball.
Leaders 10. Abercrombie can make it 13. Ogilvie with the board.
And it's a couple of good looks from the three-point line that the Breakers could not convert on.
Here's Harris. Oh, Harris has done excellent work there, going to the line to shoot 2. Marval Harris can cut the lead to single digits again.
And he's got such a scorer's mentality out there. He doesn't settle for a jump shot unless that's the shot that they're giving him, and he take it easily. He's had a real eye in on the rim and a lot of physicality for a guard in that painted area.
Harris going for points 16 and 17 to this trip.
And the Hawks just hanging around?
Certainly are.
Can't get rid of him.
Just got the tip as well on the Izzy Tueta situation. He leaves the team with Shea Ely coming back. And he has to start work as he goes home after Sunday, after the game in Illawarra. Yeah, these two teams play again in the Gong. The Hawks hosting the Breakers. Starts back at work on Wednesday, does Izzy Tueta.
As what? Your sources have that one?
Oh, yeah, they're listening, guys, so I'm sure they're whips the corner three.
Well, ball movement, reacting to the overreactiveness of the defense, swinging that ball around and finding the open three.
I want to say teacher, but that was Shane McDonald, wasn't it, last season? Oh, blown lane up, man.
It looked like a foul a little bit there, too.
Ogilvie fouls Webster at the other end, and Nick Kay, yeah, he's pleading his case.
I mean, there's a bit of contact there. I mean, not the hardest foul you would see, but certainly enough contact to blow the whistle from the vantage point that we had, which is very similar to what the Illawarra bench was looking at as well.
I was close. He works in early childcare education, does Izzy Tueta. Stompton drops the two. The 15-foot is good.
Well, just got to come up and cover that one. No help off the screen, leaving good shooters open. Not going to work.
14 might be just a bridge too far for the Illawarra Hawks, unless Clark can get it going, and that was a wild shot off the top of the backboard.
Somebody closed that door out the back. We must have a draft in here.
Three minutes to go in the game. Case fouled.
Nice foul by Thomas Abercrombie. That was a sure bucket there had he not fouled him. Seeing that steal there, killed Mitchell. Just right into the waiting hands of Nick Kay. Nick Kay takes the foul. Nobody close to the bonus yet.
Okay, Breakers fans.
It is Rodney Clark at halfway to get it going again. 92-78. Stockton on Clark. Marvell Harris. Good tap set by Ogilvie. Kay stripped by Mekavakona. Bounce pass to Corey Webster. Timeout, Illawarra. Wow, that is nice basketball. Mekavakona, the stop and the assist. And that should be gang for the Breakers.
The stats do not belie Mekavakona's contribution to the win, what looks like a win this evening. 2 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. I mean, he's doing it all. Look at that time. That is a tough 2 bounce pass to Corey Webster on the money.
Mekavakona has been superb on the bounce pass. Look at that, just the wonderful lead, the pickup by Webster.
The double bouncer.
You can see Nick Kay's head there just turn and think. That is something that we just cannot stop, the hustle of Mekavakona.
Reese just make the pass, spin off that, space it, middle on ball screen. You two guys here, Now, after that, step out. Okay, step out. So right now, space it here. Okay, space it. So, Roddy, come out. We're opening the whole floor up. Penetrate. You 3 guys are spotting up for shots. Okay? So, if you guys 2-on-2 in the middle. If it's not there, you guys are spotting up. Okay, and then we're in man-to-man. Okay, let's switch absolutely everything. Switch everything. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
94-78, 2:35 to go. Oscar Foreman with the ball. Does Rob Beveridge and his Illawarra Hawks have up their sleeves? They were wearing sleeves. Wearing singlets. Reece Martin in all sorts of trouble. And he just does the most Reece Martin thing by throwing it off Izzy Tueta, and they get the ball back.
And Mika Vakuna and Tueta both thought that Martin had a foot on the line. Be interesting to see if he did as he steps out here. Pretty close.
They do have 4 seconds to get it over, though. That's it. That's it. Couldn't get it over half court within 8 seconds. The Breakers had that problem in the first half.
And the story of the night really is just the lack of energy at the start from the Illawarra. Put them in too deep a hole. They had to use so much energy to come back. I think they just ran out of juice down the stretch.
31 third quarter points from Illawarra, 33 by the Breakers in the first quarter. Stripped. Marvell Harris gets his hands in there, and Harris tries to drop it off to Oscar Foreman. And the Breakers have it. Dave Stockton is pushing it and puts a floater up and gets the bucket. Wow. 96-78, the Breakers might just crack a 100.
That's a tough shot on the run like that. Dylan Boucher, last time the Breakers were closing in on 100, requested that it's no longer a different franchise's Breakers anymore. It's Carl's Jr.
Yeah. What did you say, Cass?
I said the old one, the old BK.
Ah, yeah. Just fell into my trap, didn't he, you? Yeah, he did.
Hey.
So you make Dylan angry. You've called them out about the singlets.
They're not sponsoring me. I'll name all the fast food joints.
Yeah, they're actually they're wonderful sponsors. I'm going to keep quiet. Okay, no, so 96-78, minute 47 to go in this game. The Breakers and Illawarra probably are going to share a flight tomorrow morning as they fly over to Australia. And they'll do it again on Sunday. AJ Ogilvie with the dunk.
He's been quiet tonight for the most part. Has really struggled with some of the size. That's only his 11th point of the ball game.
Phil Delaney looks to the bench to see what's happening. Gives it back to Stockton. Minute 30 to go. Stockton got hit, puts it up. Dave Stockton!
Look at the runner. Look at the floater game.
What do we do with Dave Stockton and Ben Woodside? We're going to enjoy a few more weeks of Dave Stockton, that is for sure.
I don't know, but that's 17 points for him already.
What a debut, what a type of game to have. He probably hasn't played in a gym like this since, I want to say, high school.
The Gonzaga gym's not that much bigger, but certainly a little bit nicer.
98-80. Now the Breakers going to hit 100.
17 points, 5 assists for Dave Stockton. As he checks out of the ball game, Izzy Tueta getting in there. And Daron Ruakala, developmental player for the Breakers, getting his first action of the year.
And Russ Batch also in the game for Akil Mitchell.
Let's go with Jordan Naitai, Finn Delaney. Got a lot of the D unit. The D unit.
Wow, it really is garbage time, isn't it? Martin drops it off. Oh, that's beautiful basketball. Ah, just love Reece Martin's game. AJ Ogilvie, the hoop and the harm, and he'll go to the line to shoot a free throw.
AJ Ogilvie making those stats look a little bit better as the evening goes on. Just never really got involved offensively like he's capable of.
Breakers win close at High Sense Arena, scoring 98. Cairns have scored 98. The Breakers, of course, put 119 on Adelaide in round 4.
Okay, folks, we need 2 points. The South Boys at 2 points.
And Illawarra themselves put 122 on Adelaide. Apologies to 36ers fans. There we go, Jordan Nartai's hit. And he's hit hard. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
They're driving hard too, wants to get that bang bang.
Can he get him to 100? Just the second time this season.
It's about Oscar Foreman, his third personal. Jordan Nartai will go to the line.
No quit from the Illawarra. think they're still looking at that differential.
Here's it from the crowd, Jordan Natai.
Crowd's excited. Not excited about that mustache, but way to support Movember.
Natai for 100. Crowd loves it. 50 seconds to go.
So now that the Skycity Breakers have reached 100 points, you know what that means. Remember, that's the Power Junior. Remember, keep your game.
Ogilvy's hit, and he gets to the bucket.
Pad those stats, big fella. Get them all late.
16 for AJ Ogilvy. Okawa turns it over. Oh, look at a hard foul. And that's a travel. That's not a foul, that is a travel.
Few too many steps before the contact. He went for the Euro step.
Breakers fans, the majority of them are on their feet at the North Shore Event Centre. They don't play again at home until 2 weeks tonight, the 2nd of December, against the Illawarra Hawks.
Shot clock off. I think they're own. Rukawa wants to get a jumper up.
Instead, he turns it over. Harris with the ball, and Harris throws it ahead. This is a scrappy end to what has been interesting game. The Breakers started hot. Illawarra fought back, and the Breakers have just closed this out. Tueta for 3. And the game is over. The Breakers with a win, 100-85 against the Illawarra Hawks team that only really woke up in the second quarter.
Well, not a complete game by any means, but very scrappy, fought through a very spirited comeback by the Illawarra, cut it down to 9 on a couple of occasions. But because of the big hole that they were putting in early, there just wasn't a real opportunity for them to get right back into the basketball game and put real pressure on the Breakers.
Certainly have. A wonderful debut by David Stockton as well. His first game in a Breakers singlet, albeit without his name. I'm sure they'll rectify that this week, maybe not before game number 2 between these two teams. Happens Sunday in the GOM, Illawarra hosting the Breakers.
Yeah, you don't play a team for this entire season up until right now. Now you're playing back-to-back. The Illawarra is going to be looking for some get-back. Certainly.
Yeah, they play again in 2 weeks tonight at this very venue. Illawarra, for some reason, they're not allowed to go to VEQTA Arena.
Well, I think that's because last year they were on fire in that building. They just about burned it down.
Very much different to what last season was like for the Illawarra Hawks against the Breakers. They swept that season series 4-0, as the Breakers did it to them the previous season. And let's go down to Hugh Bainan, who has Corey Webster with him.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Casey. Corey, was that win built on that good start?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you start like that, it's tough to come back. Tough for the opposition anyway. You know, we just need to keep the foot down in times like that and don't let up. You know, if we keep starting like that, I don't think any team can stay with us.
A few tense moments at the start of the fourth, though, when maybe the foot went off the gas a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. We got a little bit complacent there, but we finished strong. We bring it home.
And what did you make playing alongside David Stockton for the first time?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's great in the open court, finds the open players. So yeah, it's good to have him here.
The challenge now, I guess, is to back it up and go over to Illawarra on Sunday.
Yeah, it's always tough to play 2 in 3 or 4 days. Get some good recovery in, travel over there, and hopefully come back with a win.
Thanks, Corey.
Corey Webster, 14 points tonight. The Illawarra Hawks, reflecting on what was a poor start, Casey. Mika Vakona, 2 points tonight, but 8 rebounds and 8 assists, and Tim Conrad is with you now.
Thank you, Andrew. Tim, what went wrong tonight?
Well, I think the first quarter we let them go off to a good start. Their shooters were able to get off what they wanted. Kirk and Corey really hurt us early from the perimeter. That was one of our game plans, was coming in to run them off the perimeter. They're a great three-point shooting team. You got Abercrombie shooting over 50%, Kirk and Corey doing their thing. So we didn't really stick to our game plan early, and they just got the jump on us.
The beauty of round 7 for you is that you now get to get some revenge just in 2 days' time, and you're likely to share a flight with these guys tomorrow. How'd you bounce back?
Yeah, we just got to take care of the bodies now. Right now it's about recovery and getting ready to play for Sunday. We just have to stick to our game plan and be more aggressive earlier. I thought we had patches there where we showed really good stuff. We were increasing the tempo, playing more our style. But at the end of the day, we just let their shooters get too many open looks. And against a team like this, you just can't do that.
Thanks, Tim. Best of luck for the weekend.
Always appreciate the time taken by the players. Yes, 48 hours, is it enough to turn around what Illawarra had starting this game, which was not a lot? It'll be interesting to see, and I imagine being at home comforts, crowd in Wollongong will be right behind them. Mika VEQTA is now with you.
Thank you, Andrew. Sorry, Mika and I just catching up about our fantasy football matchup last week. Mika, with about 2 minutes to go, a David Stockton floater. I saw a smile on your face, and I think that's when you knew that the game might be yours. And it's all down to that good start, wasn't it?
Yeah, Paulie's big on getting a good start, setting the tone. You know, we came out with the right attitude tonight, and we just wanted to build on from that Perth game.
The Hawks are going to come out firing. You know Bevo as a coach, they're going to come out firing this weekend. How'd you push that back?
You know, we just got to come out with the same energy. You know, Bevo's always a coach that has high standards. He won't be happy with this group right now. And we know when we go over there, the snake pit, they're going to be real hard on us. So, look, we expect it, but we just got to bring the same kind of attitude, the same kind of intensity.
You certainly had your Weet-Bix this morning. Is that the sort of battle that you relish, that physical battle, fighting for those boards?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just had a quiet start to the end. It's just trying to contribute out there with the rebounds and things that I know what I do well. So, yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun playing tonight, and, you know, we're going to try and continue that.
And after all the talk throughout the week, your new teammate did all right, didn't he?
He did a great job, man. He's got a great pedigree, and he just showed some poise out there, and, you know, he lifted the guys at the right time, so it's awesome having him on board.
Thanks, Mika. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you very much to Mika VEQTA. He beat me in fantasy football as well, Casey, but here's Dave Stockton's highlights, and Dave Stockton on debut had a very good game. He logged 24 minutes and 17 points and 5 assists. Dave Stockton, what do you like about him, Casey, apart from those long arms?
Well, the confidence. I mean, he came out aggressive. You know, you see him from other places. We see a little Finn Delaney in there as well. But David Stockton really came out shooting the basketball well and putting the basketball in the breadbasket of the shooters around him. And just did a good job of taking advantage of the opportunities that were available to him.
Dave Stockton getting it done for the Breakers, and there was that little teardrop, that floater, the bump, and it drops for David Stockton, and Alex Pledge is chucking back the Gatorade, but David Stockton is with you.
Thanks, Andrew. David, we spoke before the game. You had that look in your eye, a steely look in your eye. Certainly went well for you tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to, you know, get out finally with the team and, you know, see what we could do.
Did you jump on Skype as soon as you get back home now and let friends and family at home know that it went well?
Yeah, unlike in Croatia, they can actually watch the games on, you know, NBL TV, so they watched, and I'll talk to them later tonight.
What did you enjoy the most out there? I could see from the start you were looking to find Kurt Penny early and often.
Yeah, I mean, when you got a shooter like that and, you know, a guy that can really get hot and fill it up, you got to find him as much as possible, especially at the point guard position.
There's a lot of talk around the world about how physical the NBL is. Did you notice that in your first run out tonight?
Yeah, definitely. The screens are hard. You know, the guards are big. So, like any league, it's basketball. You know, it's physical. So, you know, it was a pretty physical game out there tonight.
And not much time before your next game, and it's against these same guys again. We spoke to Rodney Clark at half-time, and he said he played against you in college and knew a lot about you. Was it fun to see him again?
Yeah, you know, he's a good player, and he's always been good. And it's good to see him, you know, being successful over there too.
Thanks, Dave. Enjoy the trip to Illawarra.
Yeah, David Stockton, baptism by fire, but a relatively good game to get your first NBL game underway under your belt.
Yeah, I'd call that more of a electric heater in the corner than baptism by fire. Not a lot of defensive interference by the Hawks for the majority of the game. So nice one to get your feet wet for sure.
Breakers shooting 56% from the floor. They were hot to begin with sort of fight back from the Illawarra Hawks, who shot 50% from the floor as well. The Breakers, though, they're going to do it again against this Illawarra Hawks team in Wollongong in just 48 hours' time. Breakers get it win get it big. 185 at the North Shore Event Centre.
welcome to Friday night NBL from Hisense Arena, and according to Melbourne United, tonight's the night. Superstar Chris Goulding is back, new scoring import Casper Ware has arrived, and the climb back up the NBL ladder is about to begin. But trying to make it 6 losses in a row for Melbourne is the Cairns Taipans. Great to have your company wherever you're watching around the land. Got a couple of superstars with me, Tommy Greer, Darren McDonald. Welcome, boys. Where else in the world would you rather be?
No, nowhere else. I mean, the stars are out tonight. There's even rumours of potentially Paris Hilton in the house. But really looking forward to this game tonight. After 5 losses to Melbourne United, they're looking to get back on that winners list.
And their lineup looks a lot better, Darryl, tonight.
It is. Bringing in Casper Ware as an import and Chris Goulding coming back into the lineup. This is a game they need to lift. It's one they need.
And we'll show you why they need to lift shortly. But there is the man. We'll talk more about Casper Ware as the night goes on. Earlier tonight, the New Zealand Breakers did a job on the Illawarra Hawks. Last night, the Perth Wildcats in that battle for top spot defeated the Sydney Kings. But some huge matchups still to come across round 7 of the NBL. But for Melbourne United, Tommy, none bigger than tonight.
No, absolutely. I mean, they've been doing it tough. They've been hit with injuries. Todd Blanchfield, Chris Goulding, David Barlow. Got Barlow and Goulding back in the lineup tonight, along with Casper in that point guard spot. So I'm expecting them to move up that ladder pretty quickly.
And the great part about Casper Ware is he can score.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they need someone coming in, keeping that scoreboard ticking over, but also someone who can facilitate with so many superstars on that roster. And he'll be thrown straight into that starting lineup tonight in the point guard position. Chris Goulding is a very happy return for Melbourne United in that shooting guard spot. Owen Odigee will bring a bit of defence for the squad. And big David Anderson and Majuk will shore things up for them in the 5 and 4 spot.
Yeah, David Anderson's been an extremely good form, the 4-time Olympian. Everybody in the stadium can't wait to see Casper Ware unveiled. Well, a short time ago, he caught up with our own Nerily Meadows.
Casper, welcome to Australia. It's great to have you here. How are you fitting in with Melbourne United so far?
I feel good. The team really accepted me with open arms, so that made it much easier.
The teammates have already described you as a defensive bulldog, a little bulldog. That's what you bring to the game as well as your energy?
Yeah, that's what I try to bring to the game. Defense, that never can go away. You know, offense goes and comes. You're going to be awesome. I feel like defense could be consistent.
And you've played with David Anderson in France as well. Was it nice to have a familiar face around?
Oh, yeah, it made it much easier. You know, going to new places, I was like, oh, who do I know? Who can I talk to? But knowing somebody like go to David, he teach me everything I need to know, tell me things about around the city, places to eat, so it made it much easier.
It's great to have you here. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, it won't be easy. The Cairns Taipans have a couple of big victims so far this season, and Darryl has got a pretty good unit out there as well tonight.
Yes, they do. They got Travis Trice import, just coming off an injury. Cam Glidden, this is a guy I think who needs to lift. He goes as they go. Stevie Wade just coming into the starting lineup. Mark Worthington always wants to play well against teams he's played for, and Big Nathan Jawai in the 5 spot.
Yeah, the crowd's still filing in here at Hisense Arena. It's a Friday night, and it's always a full house. The celebrities are in town as well, as Tommy told you. Can't wait to see Paris Hilton standing by the sideline very shortly. But it's great to have Nerily Meadows with us tonight for the first time this NBL season. She's outside, and Nerily, they're still filing in here at Hisense.
Dwayne, this is a huge game for Melbourne United, and the fans have showed up in force to back their boys in. They're excited to see Chris Goulding back in action after a month off and to get a glimpse of their new import, Casper Ware. Can the home side break a 5-game losing streak? Find out after this short break.
Been out for 5 games. Chris Golding, great to see him back. And from the tip, they're still finding their seats here. Another massive crowd in the arena on a Friday night. Great to have you with us. Mark Worthington, back to his old hometown. Jawai, Glidden. Some good players. Cairns Taipans, they win this tonight. They're back inside the top 4. Nate Jawai, speaking of big, none bigger than him. Anderson pulls down the rebound. And here he is, Casper Ware. Gets a feel of it for the first time with a huge round of applause. Listen to that. Golding as well. The look away. Casper! Whoa, what a way to start! Welcome to Melbourne.
And I think we've got a new crowd favourite, Casper Ware, coming and knocking down his first triple. This crowd's already behind him.
You're kidding me, aren't you? Former NBA star Steve Blake came to Australia. He hasn't been able to find it in a month. Casper's found it first time. That is phenomenal.
And look, I was down at shoot-around today and I got to see this guy practicing, throwing up a few 3 balls. He hit at least 22, 23 in a row just going around that arc. He can flat out knock it down from the perimeter.
At his best. And it's on YouTube as Worthington, with 1 on the shot clock, puts it up. Golding with the rebound. Casper Ware has hit 5 3-pointers in a row without anyone scoring in a game, so he really can light it up. Dave Anderson fouled on the way. And he'll go to the line.
It's Chris Golding recognizing the mismatch with Dave Anderson and Cam Glidden. Just on that first play, I just love the penetration by Chris Golding, getting in the paint and kicking that ball out to Casper Ware for 3.
He didn't go to the line. I thought he was going to get the continuation. He looked like he was on his way. Golding. Odyssey. Look good in the air. Trice. And he can light it up as well, don't worry. Jawai. Way. Big word though. He want to make a statement tonight. He always wants to make one. Jawai uses his bulk on Magic.
And that's classic Cairns. Even the first couple of possessions, you can see how they love to control the tempo. They're going to get the ball through hands.
Look out. Second one rimmed out. And he might get the turnover here. Got a hand on it. Trice all the way himself. That looks solid.
And boy, won't they be happy to have Travis Trice back on the floor. He was a big factor in getting their first win of the season against Melbourne United. Went off for 28 points in that one.
Yeah, he's missed the past 4 games with a hip injury, Travis Trice. Anderson. The fadeaway 2 attempt. And Jawai with the rebound. Trice, a big import from Michigan State. A good year so far before he was injured. Jawai. Perfect layup. Look at that.
Again, great offense from Cairns. Getting the ball from one side to the next and ended up getting a backdoor cut.
Such a benefit having a big man like Nathan Jawai with that ability to pass on the perimeter and find backdooring cutters.
Easy.
Golding takes some time. Still a bit to use. And if he gets back in form, look out.
Oh boy, Chris Golding's got the dance moves out on his first game back at Hisense. Look at this. Little step back shimmy. Right up.
He had the swagger going in the warm-up. He had the swagger going before any crowd was here.
I think he had it in his Mercedes on the way to the game.
The thing you could say, the one thing I can say about Chris is he gets his shots up before training and after, every day.
It's the voice of Darryl McDonald with Tommy Greer. A couple of superstars with us for the commentary tonight, and a couple of superstars out on the court already turning it on. Way to Worthington. Trice. Well, they got Anderson in the air, then turned it over. Odyssey.
Easy. On the play. Here.
Golding from way outside. Egwu with rebound.
Right home, Chris. Right home.
Glidden for 3. That's good in the air too. Rimmed out, got unlucky. Cam thought it was their ball.
And I don't mind that from Cam Glidden. He went off over in New Zealand and was a big factor in getting that road win for them, something they've struggled to do in the past. Just got one of them last season. They need him being aggressive, and I like seeing him get up shots early in the first quarter.
Yeah, he scored 25 in the game you're talking about. He did really provide a solid performance, and they need that again as the foul. Not the end, but one. Draw the new import, Casper Ware.
Speaking of Glidden, early, I know Coach Fernie gave him the green light, told him you need to get up at least 15, 20 shots a game. You know, for him, again, I think he's the one that needs to lift. Run plays for him, get him shots, let him get himself going.
Do you think maybe he's a little bit too team-orientated, Mac?
Sometimes I do. But I watched that New Zealand game and he was feeling it. Like he wanted the ball. I think he needs to come out like that every game.
And with guys like that, sometimes it's more selfish not to get up the shots. You know, if you're that prolific offensive player, you need to be getting up the shot attempts.
Absolutely.
Egwood. Weeks.
Jeff Weeks in the game, just coming to sub for Trice. He's an energy guy for them.
He's been starting in his absence as well as that teardrop didn't drop. Got his own rebound, though, Stephen away. Wertho, shot clock down to 5. Anderson got him back, wanted the 1-2. And a little hold.
And Wertho is so good at that, just perpetual motion. He's so good at those little give and goes. He's done it his whole career. Sure, you recognise it, Mac, from when you coached him back in the day, but just so good at that pass and cut move.
From the side, Cairns don't have a good record here in Melbourne, but neither does Melbourne at the moment, so it's a fairly even matchup where these two teams are on the ladder. Egwood. Melbourne bottom of the NBL ladder, but a new look lineup is way. Sees that rim out. Well played by Casper Ware. Got his body on the line. Jared Weeks up against him.
And the arena's a little bit silent at the moment. I think that's due to the Cairns Tide fans in their half-court sets. They really like to eat up as much of that shot clock as they can. Like we said earlier, get it through hands and sort of execute their possessions.
Golding thought about kicking it out, rejected but foul. He will go to the free throw line. Chris Golding.
And that's just such a good sign for Melbourne United fans, seeing Chris Golding back on the floor, being aggressive on the ring. You can just see the confidence it's given, you know, players around them. Owen Odygy penetrating before, having those prolific scorers in Goulding and Ware out on the floor, taking some of that burden.
And he's been out with an ankle as well, so to see him jumping and leaping and being confident is huge for Melbourne United. Chris Golding almost could have played last week. First game back after 5 out.
He did say to me at shoot-around today he was a little concerned about getting on a break because his ups aren't quite there at the moment. Right. And he said he was a little concerned about Jared Weeks and his little trail rejections. He didn't want to get planted against that backboard.
Good start for Melbourne United. Here is Weeks, the man Tommy Greer was talking about. Hands off to Worthington. Glidden. Egwood. Used his bulk there and got caught for the foul. Nice little piece of work by Ty Wesley trying to pull the chair on him.
I think that's the recognition that Cam has to understand. He gets a mismatch with a big on him. You know, I think he needs to take advantage of that sometimes. You know, there's a fine line between going and giving it to the big, but sometimes you got to take, get your own.
Golding, a little tap in for Mitchell. Glidden put up the floater. Golding the rebound. Melbourne United looking as solid as they've looked all year. A little behind the back pass, if you don't mind. Again to Wesley, working it around. Ware. Wesley, huge rebound. Barlow for 3. Second game back for David Barlow. He was a little rusty last week. Made 1 of 8. in his return game, but he had been out for 2 years. Edwin, hand off Worthington. There you go. He held his ground. Casper Ware was standing not inside the circle, was inside the circle.
And this is one of the big reasons Melbourne United really loved Casper Ware and why they brought him in. He's a lockdown defender, and they've said all week he's been a bulldog at practice, getting skinny, slipping through screens, and just making life hell for the Melbourne United players at practice.
Big Werther has a sit down. Already had an impact. The 26-year-old import from California, played at Long Beach State. And he pulls out for the three. Gee, he was halfway down.
Has the confidence on him, though. He's not shy.
He's been brought over here to put a number next to his name, and he wants to get that number up early. Kick back out. Loughton, the facilitator, and gets the rebound back, and that drops.
Great offensive rebound from Alex Loughton. I think what you guys talking about Casper Ware, I think he knows what he's here for.
The replacement for Cedric Jackson didn't quite work here at Melbourne United. Wesley Ware. Shot clock down to 6. Weeks right with him. He pulls up on Weeks. Glidden. Loughton. Their group. Steps back. It's only for 2. Oh. He'll take it, though.
Great little move. Hesitation move there by Cam Glidden. Just shook Ramon Moore, who's a good defender himself. Tough little finish.
Cairns the lowest scoring team in the NBL this season, averaging just 78 points per game. And Moore goes to the hole himself.
Melbourne looking to be attacking. They're doing a lot of attacking off the dribble. And getting shots on the rim early.
Which is a really good point. Something we haven't seen out of them. A lot of penetration, getting on the rim. That opens up stuff on the perimeter later in the game.
Weeks takes on Casper Ware. Off the glass. Didn't drop. Madjuk. Foul by Weeks. Jared Weeks hasn't had a good time, but shooting-wise, just 5 of 23 the past 4 games. He's out there to hassle and a little overzealous for the hassle there.
Got some subs coming in. Tomlinson and Williams, Nathan Jawai, and McCarron for Cairns. I love McCarron. I just love the way he gets after it, his energy.
Did he get fouled or was it? We're so stupid. Hey guys, swap around.
Dean Demopoulos not so happy with the refereeing.
Casper Ware at the line.
No, I totally agree with you, D-Mac. I don't think we've seen the best of Mitch McCarron yet. Division II Player of the Year, spent a year over in Spain. Went to college at Metro State, which of course where Mark Worthington went and won the same award.
Dave Barlow went also.
Absolutely. Incredible athlete, really good at getting on the rim, and he can knock down that perimeter jumper.
He plays with a toughness, that you don't see a lot. That's what I loved about him. Watched him in the preseason tournament. Thought he would be really good.
Here he is, Mr. McCarron, in the number 10. If you're watching Cairns for the first time, for Weeks, Jawai. All 140 kilos of him. Back out to Weeks. Shooting drought continues. Wesley. Tomlinson has been in the starting 5 in the absence of Golding. Wesley from way outside. Ty Wesley ties one on.
And that's exactly what they want to use Wesley for. He comes off the bench to give that scoring punch. He's got to be aggressive with this unit on the floor.
Crowd enjoying this. I've been watching Melbourne United go down recently. Loughton, he knew that was short the moment it left his fingertips. Moore. 1 minute left in the opener. Steps inside, tried to give it to Wesley. They weren't on the same page. Edwin for the slam. Took it easy in the end.
little baby finger off. Come on, Fuquan, you got to give us something out there. We're trying to get excited.
It's a bit quiet in here.
Moore. 2 for 1 opportunity coming up here for United. Back out to Moore. Steps inside. Travel.
I wouldn't mind seeing that one again. To me, like he had that good long step.
Saw a few 5-step non-calls last night.
We did. Let the boys play.
Maybe they've got the memo since last night. Okay, you can see the differential shot clock, game clock here. Melbourne United will get it back. Jawai foul.
And that's a good option for the Cairns Taipans. Great seal, nice and low in the paint there by Nate Jawai.
No, you can't grab it.
Devin Williams in the glasses.
You've got your
If
tools,
you haven't been
you
watching the
need to know
NBL this season.
Two or baseline?
Their imports.
Baseline.
Hasn't really turned it on in the individual game just yet to turn a game around, but he's been solid in a couple. 13-point game against Illawarra.
And he's young as well. He's just out of college. I think he's someone that Melbourne United got to look to develop.
Oh, how about that for a wasted possession for the Cairns Taipans? Melbourne United will get the last say of the quarter. Dean DeMofflin's going to draw something up here. He's bringing his two guns back on.
Coming back with Chris Golden, Dave Barlow, and Casper Ware. What's up? Just to finish off this quarter. That was great pressure defense from United on that last play.
Tomlinson, who's been in the starting 5 last few weeks, also having a sit down. Who gets the last shot here? Casper Ware or Golding?
I got to tell you what, Casper Ware's holding the ball. I'm going to run with him.
Count him down. 6 left. The shimmy on Weeks. Takes it to the hole. Flicks it out. Barlow going to have to put it up. Oh. And he'll go to the line. He's in front of the Melbourne Footy Club footballers up there. He got pretty high here.
And look at this. This is uncharacteristic of David Barlow. Penalty loves to just sit on that perimeter. Got up in the air. He's a little uncomfortable up there, the big fella.
Simon Goodwin, the coach of Melbourne, might have to signing up. Yes. Maxie Gorn, Nathan Jones, the captain.
He took off like he was going to dunk that. I thought I was going to see something special from Dave.
And Demon, how good is it to see David Barlow back out on the court? He's missed the last 18 months with injury, started up his own business, teambarlow.com.au if you want to look at it.
Can you spot there?
But to see him back out on the floor, you know, he's a former Olympian. It's so good to see him back out.
It is. I mean, you know, I think the word was he might not be coming back. But, you know, he did his rehab, did everything he needed to do. And it's, you know, good to see him back on the floor. Played his first game last week.
Just 0.5 left on the clock. She gave it a run. Jared of Weeks. But quarter time here. They're not quite back the full way yet, Melbourne United, but they've taken a huge step. Coming off 5 losses in a row, they lead at quarter time, 20-12.
I just came to win. I ain't come to battle, dog. I just came to win. I just came to win. I just came to win. Hearing people talk about me. I just came to win. I just came to win.
Quarter time, Hisense Arena. Friday night NBL coming to you around Australia and around the world. Great to have your company if you're watching in China. Melbourne United looking to play their way slowly back up the NBL ladder. They started this round rock bottom. But Chris Golding's back, David Barlow's back, and the new import Casper Ware is already showing us some tricks. Nate Tomlinson starts with the ball for United. Ramon Moore. Tomlinson.
2-3 zone here for the Taipans.
Wesley for three. Had a sighter from there earlier.
A good shot. That's what he's done well. I think he's added that to his game this year. Stepping, pop, picking and popping and shooting a three.
Well, Cairns defeated Melbourne earlier this season. I'll be confident they'll come back. They come back of sorts that night, but that was at home. Jawai takes it to the hole.
This is an option I really like for the Taipans. I mentioned it earlier, but if I was them, I'd be going at that all day.
On the back of that, I think Melbourne needs to do a better job of just do your work early. I know it's easy to say because of how big he is, but do your work early.
Edwin. Jawai. Loughton. Weeks. Jawai. 7 on the shot clock. Handed it off to Edwin. Rejected. Barlow having some sort of second game back. Tomlinson. Tomlinson has filled the hole pretty well in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, he's been exceptional, just stepping in and trying to lead the way for a really depleted Melbourne United. But they're a different look team tonight. They look well different than they have in the previous weeks. Everyone's penetrating, feeling confident out there.
And you mentioned the vibe to me when we arrived 2 hours before the game.
Yeah, just a different feel around the group right now.
And Dean Demopoulos looked relaxed. Yeah. Still a lot of game left in this, though. Tomlinson. And Wesley under the bucket.
That was a great pass from Nate. Coming off the down screen. Just kind of, again, getting 2 feet in the paint and finding Wesley for the layup.
Trice. Joel Williams slapped it away. Weeks saved the day. It was Way who saved the day. And there's the big bomb. You asked for it, McCarron. Didn't drop for him. Williams a rebound. And even he looks more confident out there at the moment, Devin Williams.
This is good mismatch.
To the corner, Barlow, a little short. Got it back. Chaos ball. Devin Williams. Wesley to the float. Williams again the rebound. Barlow, same spot. Short again.
And look, Cairns got exceptionally lucky then. They gave Melbourne United 3 looks at it. They're a poor rebounding team. They can't afford to keep giving that up all night.
I love seeing that from Williams. Just his energy coming in off the bench, getting offensive rebounds. I think that's what he does. That's what he can bring to the team.
You think that's his way back into form, D-Mac? You know, like he's been struggling, hasn't been able to knock down that little 12-footer. You think it's getting on the glass for him?
Getting on the glass, get the team extra possessions, and then, you know, go down there, get your post up. They'll come back into you, and then just finishing around the rim. But his is just go to the offensive glass every time. You can't get it if you don't go in there.
Mentioned the Casper Ware highlights. Well, wherever he's played around the world, he has turned it on. He's played a couple of NBA games for the 76ers, but been playing around the world since then. Germany, China, finally France, where he was playing with Dave Anderson, his current teammate. Let's have a look at a few of his moves in France. And he was the MVP as well, so he can absolutely turn it on. You don't win an MVP unless you can do it consistently.
Yeah, and I tell you what really speaks to me, we see it right there, but Casper Ware was hand-selected by Tony Parker, one of the best point guards the NBA's ever seen. So getting selected by him to play for Tony Parker's own personal team, that's an incredible thing.
So far so good for the 26-year-old tonight. You can see the shot chart for Casper so far tonight. That green 0 with his first attempt. He's missed all 4 since. But as we mentioned earlier, it's not that easy to come from the NBA or anywhere in the world to the NBL these days. It's a better comp. Steve Blake's had a lot of trouble.
It's amazing, isn't it? He's 1 of 4 from the field, but the impact he's had on the game is much greater than that. He's giving the players around him confidence, and his penetration is getting his teammates open.
Glidden. Way.
Great seal. A little unlucky there, Nate Jarway. Just grabbing the singlet of Devin Williams when he's trying to fight for position underneath. Not allowed to do that. Got to keep both hands up. Present a target for your point guard.
Tomlinson to bring it back down the floor. Golding. Wesley. Williams. He looks inspired at the moment. Takes on Jarway. Got a little nudge, lost it. Trice. They get the stop. Can they get the score to go with it? Jarway turns on Williams. Oh, big foul. He was huge then, but Williams held his ground. Ripped the rebound down. Golding. Steps, the Euro step, put it up. But he's still a little rusty. Trice. Pulls back for the 2.
Grab Nate on the screen.
Caught on Nate Tomlinson.
Just going back, talking about Casper Ware, I think he set the tone early in the game. When Cairns got the ball, he's up the floor picking up defense. For me as a point guard, I always said that. Everything starts with you, and it starts at that end. Come down, up the floor defensively, then goes back down, hits his first shot.
And that relates to Cairns as well. Travis Trice really is one of the major keys for them if they're going to come away with a win. He needs to have a night tonight.
Here he is for you on cue. Gave it to Glidden, who slipped. Needs to get it up to somebody in a hurry. McCarron. 5 left, shot clock. Steps into the paint.
Just loves his, I love his aggression.
Yeah, I totally agree, Mac. I love it when we see Mitch McCarron penetrating and trying to get on the ring. I think early on in this season, he's sort of settled for that 3-point shot, and he might become one of those 3-and-D guys. He's so athletic, and when he penetrates, that first step is so difficult to guard. I really like it when he tries to get to the rim.
And he's actually a very solid ball handler. So he can do that.
He's 76% from the free throw line. Drops the first with ease. Good crowd in tonight at High Sense. Again, I mentioned some superstars. Well, our own Nerily Meadows is in the middle of a group of local guns. Welcome back to you, Nerily.
Thank you very much, Dwayne. Yeah, I'm with the new Melbourne Demons coach, Simon Goodwin. Simon, is it nice to get an up-close and personal look at a different sport?
Yeah, look, it always is. It's always good to come to a sport and see if we can learn something, and obviously spending a bit of time with the boys as well is always good.
Maxie, you're not a huge basketball fan, shall we say. This is the first time you've been here. Are you enjoying it so far?
I am. I'm seeing it from a football eyes, and there's a few guys we should look at, especially this big Cairns fella, July. Might need a couple of little runs around the botanical gardens, but he's a chance.
Sounds about right. A cult figure loving a cult figure, Dwayne.
That's it, that's it.
Although I've never heard of a 7-foot guy not know much about basketball. But that's the world we live in Australia. Here he is, Ware, out to Golding. Had a chance, flicks it back out. More. Sharing it around. Magic. Couldn't pull the rebound down.
Great battle on the glass there by Big Nana Egwu. He's been struggling of late, only the 2 points in the last couple of contests for him. And you can really see his endeavour, and he's really trying to get it done. Like we're talking about Devin Williams early, he's trying to bring that extra hustle on the glass for the Taipans.
Trice. Again, they go late in the shot clock before they attempt something. Cairns, it's their style, low-scoring team. For the reverse, did everything right, but get it to drop. Golding under the bucket, a bit too slick for more. And the assist and the scoring a little rusty for Chris Golding. Missed the past 5 games, and they've all been losses, by the way. So that's how important he is for Melbourne United. Egg with a turn.
How about the drop step on the big fella? Just bullied Majuk to the baseline. Little Jimmy, if you don't mind.
I was just getting ready to say, both teams struggling to score. Very low-scoring game.
Ware takes it himself. Oh, the facilitator instead drops the dime, and Majuk.
That is a great penetration look for Casper Ware.
How about that? Shades of a young D-Mac just wrapping her around the corner of the big fella.
The crowd haven't seen this here for a while. Egwu. Trice. Little floater. He wanted the alley-oop. Didn't work. Who messed that up?
Egwu or? Oh, that was Egwu. What a pass. That was an incredible find by Travis Trice. Oh, Cammy Glidden a little. And that was the find. Look for mine. That was a great little pass by Travis Trice. Egwu just unable to finish it at the rim.
Aaron Fern up out of his chair, stalking the sideline. He doesn't want this to get away from Cairns. 27-18 now. Casper Ware. Oh, Trice almost stole it. Gets it back again for the fadeaway. Moore with the rebound. Golding had a beautiful arc on that. Vintage Golding.
Again, another extra offensive rebound for Ramon Moore. Kick out to Chris Goulden for three.
McCarron rejected. Majuk had a lean couple of weeks as well, Majuk.
Oh, great
saves that.
interception.
Majuk's having a better night at the office as well. Trice working it around. Glidden under the bucket. Egwu works his way hard under the basket for two.
And this is what Cairns is so great at. They're so good at just hanging around, controlling the tempo in the half court, getting it through a lot of hands. That was a great pass by Cammy Glidden, and nice finish by the big fella.
And when they defeated Melbourne earlier this season, they had a 30-point quarter as Golding puts this one near. Second effort from Majuk was good. So they can have a big quarter, Cairns. They had a 30-point second quarter in that win over Melbourne. Travis Trice had 28 points. And they committed just 7 fouls for the game, which is a club record low. Timeout's been called. Aaron Fern having a chat. Melbourne United lost their past 5. They've never lost 6 in a row in a single season. They've just won 2 of their past 8 games here at Hisense, so it hasn't been a nice home for them as we sneak in on Aaron Fern.
Right. Okay, be ready for the zone. Be ready for the zone here. All right. Press, 13 attack. Attack it with some pace.
See some highlights already tonight. Well, how about the highlights last night? Top of the ladder battle. The Wildcats without Damian Martin, and yet they still get the job done.
These Wildcats are just so impressive. I have no idea how they continue to manage to fight through these types of adversity. Damian Martin is the heart and soul of the Wildcats, and to lose him and a second-string point guard and be forced to go with your third and fourth. Mason Bragg was incredible the other night for Perth.
I think because of what Damian does, I just think it carries over to their group. You know, they don't take the pedal off defensively. Mason Bragg, I love that kid. I coached him in this tournament early on, and what I explained to him is how you get in the league is what you got to do. You got to be energetic, run the team, hit your shots.
And it's just amazing to me what they've built over there at the Perth Wildcats. To make the playoffs 30 seasons straight, I mean, that is unheard of in any sport around the world.
And they've had their import battles this season as well. They've had a couple of changes, or a change and a change back at least.
They just find a way, though. Somehow they just continually find a way to win.
And that's exactly what Dean Demopoulos, hoping Melbourne United could have done in the last month, but they get their chance now. Some of their big guns back. Tonight could be the night. Moore with the steal. Golding under the bucket for the floater. Alley-oop instead. Wesley back out. Moore, open 3. Wesley another rebound. doesn't drop. Had their chances to be a lot further in front than this.
That was a good defensive possession by Damon Hire. Ty Wesley is no easy guard in that low block.
Egwu. Hire. Got Ware in the air. Edwin. 4-shot clock. Pulls up. Wins out. Wesley's put out a few rebounds and a few big ones tonight.
And look, it's a credit to Melbourne United's defense that they've forced Cairns into, you know, throwing up those 1.5 meters behind the three-point line attempts a couple times already tonight.
Wesley.
2-3 zone for the Cairns Taipans.
Madjuk. Lead back out to 12. Almost a strip. Wade. Glidden. Nothing's coming easy for Cairns at the moment. Got his own rebound and drops it in the end, Stephen Wade. Speaking of Perth, he's a championship winner with them. He knows how to play it. Oh, this. Good foul. He'll go to the line.
After a score, Casper Ware pushes that ball up all around, almost gets a layup, gets fouled. So he's going to the line.
Totally agree, Mac. Aaron Fern will be furious about that. That is very uncharacteristic of a Cairns Taipans team, not getting back on defense, and it would have been a focus for them, ensuring to stop transition for Melbourne United. So for that to happen after a make, pretty disappointing, I would think.
We're good, guys. We're good.
He's having a bit of the Steve Blakes at the moment, though. Casper Ware is
Things don't hook up
missed
here.
his last few.
Don't hook the arm.
I think we gave him the commentator's curse. We talked him up after that first one, and he hasn't been able to knock one down.
Glidden. 1 minute left. He thought he had Golding cold there. Wesley, the swoop. Couldn't find it. Golding. Pulls up for three. Shebang!
Who was guarding him? What happened on that possession for the Taipans? He just moseyed up to the three-point line.
Higher. Try for the floater. Edwin for three. And boy, they need one. More. Flicks it out to Golding, who's free. Had an eternity. Dodged a huge fill up there, Cairns. You can see the shot clock, game clock, differential. Here they milk it all the way down here. Almost a strip, Casper Ware. Good hustle.
He is an absolute bulldog in the backcourt.
Again, what he's doing on defense is carrying over to the whole group. That's why Cairns has 22 points. But Melbourne are playing excellent defense, taking away all their stuff.
Here it is, Casper Ware.
And look at this. Just watch his footwork here. Just sliding, keeping his hands out until Hire presents it to him. And that's a great point, D-Mac. Defense can be contagious. We saw it Brad Norley the other night over in Perth. They were really struggling defensively until he lifted the tempo. And that's what's happening here with Melbourne.
It's the one thing we are.
Here on the side out. Trav, this is you, Fu. All right? So I want you to come over and through. Screen, you're going to come up behind him, Trav. Trav, going to come up behind him. Stevie, you go screen. Nana, you go screen. You've got to get under this bump and catch it at the top. All right? So then, Nana, you're just going to sprint into the on ball with 5 seconds on the clock. All right? And the rest of us are just spacing out on the perimeter. All right? Hit something at the rim or find the perimeter and then tag up and contain in transition.
Hope you got that at home. So Nana is Nana Egwu, and Fu is Fuquan Edwin. Who's going to take the last shot after you heard all that, Tommy Greer?
The Cairns Taipans are potentially the most structured team in the NBL. And I don't think they'll be going to anyone specifically. I think they'll just be getting through a set and taking what's given to them. That's what they do, you know throughout the whole the entire game.
So best open shot here. They've got 13 seconds left to do it. Trice, almost a steal for Casper Ware. Seconds tick down. He was milking most of them. Thinks about the three, had a chance to put one up. Now looks for the foul, and they waste it. That was nothing short of horrible.
I think that's the third time after the timeout, Cairns didn't get a shot. Turned it over twice and then shot clock violation here.
And look, there wasn't much ball movement there that time. That was in the hands of Travis Trice for the entire shot clock.
I thought that was great defense by Majot on the point guard.
So still 0.6 of a second left here before half-time. We're just checking here to find out exactly how long left. But you saw there was virtually a 1 second differential shot clock, game clock. They'll go and talk it out. Time enough for a catch and shoot for Melbourne.
Absolutely, and they've got some players who can knock it down as well, with Chris Golding and David Barlow back out there for Melbourne United. Both of them generally prolific shooters from the three-point line.
We've seen a few teams try the big, long alley-oop inbound as well, which would be nice for the crowd.
This could be a Torrey Craig moment from last season, where you just catch that thing at half court, launch it off the backcourt. ESPN, top 10.
They put a second, second and 6 seconds. They put 1 second and six or whatever. What is it?
1.6.
1.6 seconds.
That used to be long enough from you to get from one end to the other, didn't it?
I had that quickness.
Yeah. Now it's about 10, right?
No, it's actually longer than that.
You're doing better than me. I'm up in the 25s, I think.
Look at that crowd again here at Hisense. Friday night, NBL. Virtually a full house. I understand it's pretty close to full for the doubleheader tomorrow night as well. Adelaide 36 is hosting Brisbane in the early game tomorrow, part of our doubleheader. And then Sydney and Perth, another top of the ladder matchup between Sydney and Perth. The Saturday night NBL coming away tomorrow night. Don't miss it. But 1.6 seconds left. Time enough for a crazy catch and shoot here for Melbourne. Tomlinson with the inbound. This would make the crowd go wild. Didn't quite work the plan. Golding got the shot up, looked a little late anyway. But half-time here at Hisense, and given what the crowd have been seeing lately, Melbourne United having lost their last 5 games coming into this and being bottom of the NBL ladder, the crowd enjoying every moment. Golding's back. Casper Ware has brought the energy. In fact, Dean Demopoulos said about Casper Ware in the press during the week, we need his juice right now. Well, he's given some of his juice. Absolutely. Narrowly Meadows is out on the court.
Well, Chris, a great start for you and the team. How is that ankle feeling? I saw you point to it towards the end of that quarter there.
Yeah, I was pointing to say how good it felt. It's all right, it's all good.
And how about Casper Ware? He's made an immediate impact.
Yeah, he's good. He's got a lot of energy. He can shoot the ball, and he's looking to find us as well. So we're going to feed off his energy. He's been really good in this first half.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Might be bottom of the ladder, but Melbourne United at home lead by 14 at the half, but don't count Cairns out yet. 36-22. Dean Demopoulos will be a lot happier with what he's seeing from his unit tonight. Melbourne United hoping to climb their way back up the NBL ladder, and it starts tonight. They're rock bottom, but they lead at the half, 36-22, and a victory tonight could get the ball rolling. Tommy Greer, Darren McDonald with me watching it unfold, and you can tell the confidence is growing.
Yeah, absolutely, and I attribute that to Casper Ware. He's come right in, he's brought the energy on the defensive end of the floor, as you were talking about, D-Mac, and seems to have spread throughout the team.
Yeah, but, you know, for him, coming in, especially as an import, just coming in, he needed to do that, you know, from the start. Everything, again, I say it again, everything starts with him, and he started from the jump. Like I said, hit his first shot. From there, everything carried on.
Yeah, the numbers in general haven't been favourable for Melbourne United when you break them down, given they were coming off 5 losses in a row. But it doesn't matter where you look tonight, they've actually got some really good numbers behind them, especially when it comes to the differentials.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, one that's really concerning for the Cairns Taipans is only having 5 assists. They're not a team that survives on individual brilliance. They get their points through moving that ball around. They're the leading assist team getter in the league. Yeah. So that number needs to rise for them.
There was Casper Ware's first shot, and the place was a rockin' after that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like we just mentioned, he brought it early, and it spread throughout the team. Chris Golding knocked a couple down, and this place started getting loud.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal atmosphere in here at Hisense when the big guns really come to play. And they know their basketball, the fans have been coming for a long, long time. They just haven't been coming in this bigger numbers for quite a while. But if Melbourne keep playing like this, they'll fill this place. And there's an open air game coming up in a few weeks' time. They'll fill this place all the way until what they hope will be playoffs. And if they get a run going after 5 losses in a row, then playoffs are still an option for Melbourne United, even though they sit last now.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other side of the equation, the Cairns Taipans are going to be really concerned about only having 22 points on the board. That's the lowest score in a half of any team this season. They're really going to need to pick that up.
And you would think they'd need D-Mac to hit a 3-pointer at some stage, Cairns. They haven't hit one yet, and they like to have throw up a lot of attempts, but they have not hit one yet.
Apparently they were leading the league with 26 a game and 0 for 9 at the moment. I think Melbourne is doing a good job defensively of getting to those guys, contesting threes and running them off that line.
Coming off an ankle injury, Chris Golding. He's missed 5 games. They've lost all 5 of them. And he adds not just a scoring, but an overall X factor as well.
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar to the Casper Ware situation. Just the confidence that's going on in this Melbourne United backcourt, whether they're knocking down shots or not, it's contagious, and not only to the team, to this entire arena.
And they've been relying on a few guys that, like Kyle Adnam, for example, and Nate Tomlinson, have relied on him so much. Now, all of a sudden, they can just bring Nate Tomlinson off the bench, and he can add some energy for 3 or 4 minutes and then have a sit-down again. Kyle Adnam hasn't even seen any court time yet, and they've been relying on him so heavily. So Golding come back just changes the mix altogether. And Cedric Jackson, well, he was an import that didn't quite work for them. He's had a great last 4 years, Cedric Jackson. He's been a superstar for New Zealand. Didn't quite work for Melbourne United. It looks like Casper Ware might work.
Yeah, look, I totally agree. I mean, Cedric Jackson, he did all he could. He was battling some knee tendonitis. He came in a little unhealthy, which made it tough for him. He was actually, I think, leading the league in assists when Melbourne United let him go. So, I mean, he was at least sharing the ball for Melbourne United, but just struggling on the offensive end of the floor.
He really has added that energy. Daryl, before we move on, what does Cairns have to do in the second half to get it going again?
Tommy made a big point about getting the ball into Nathan Jawai. I think he's an option. I think they need to go to him more. Recognition from from the point guards. When that ball comes back out, I think it needs to go back into him.
And that's something that can really help them. If they get that going inside, Melbourne United's defense will have to start sinking in on that, which will open it up for the perimeter. Travis Trice, Cam Glidden, that's where they get their 3-point shots.
Well, they've done it a few times this season, Cairns. They can creep up on you. They're going to have to do the job on Melbourne United in this second half. 36-22. Don't go away. Second half about to come your way from a packed Hisense Arena. Welcome back to Hisense Arena. Second half not far from getting underway. Cairns had the job to do in this second half. But a win tonight and they can be back inside the top four. Their coach certainly knows it's going to be a tough task. Right now he's with Narrowly Meadows.
Well, a tough start, Aaron. What was the main message at halftime?
Yeah, we're a bit flat today. We're not, we don't have a lot of mojo, a bit of swag with us and just playing. That's been disappointing. You know, defensively we did some okay things, but just puts way too much pressure on you when you can't put the ball in the hole and it's not finishing very well.
What do you do about Chris Golding?
Oh, Chris is going to do what he's going to do. I mean, he's always done that. We've got to answer him back. I mean, scoring 20, whatever we got, that ain't going to win you game.
Good luck in turning this around.
Thank you.
That's a great point by Aaron Byrne. It's not like Melbourne United are setting the world alight offensively. They've only got 36 points at half-time. The Taipans just can't manage to buy a bucket.
Yeah, Melbourne United 36 points right now at the half. You double that. 72 points doesn't win you that many NBL games, but the trouble is for Cairns, they've got 22, and 44 won't win you any.
Might win you a half. Perth had 53 at the half last night.
So they need a couple of big halves from Travis Trice, we've talked about a bit. And you've been pumping up the tyres of Mitch McCarron. He came into this game as the #1 in the NBL for three-point percentage, 56% from beyond the three-point arc, 9 of 16 coming in. He hasn't been able to deliver so far tonight either. In fact, 0 of 9 from three-point land in this game so far, the Cairns Taipans. So there's a man who has added some energy, Casper Ware. Cairns start with it. Glidden. And a turnover to start it. Anderson.
Great hands that time by Chris Golding.
Casper Ware back down the floor. Their new import. It's been there 2 days. And Anderson drops a quick 2 in.
Quick offense by Melbourne.
Trice. They handed it off in the end, so it's a good, not continuation.
Good aggressive take there by Travis Trice. Down the other end. You'd almost forgotten about David Anderson, haven't you? He was really quiet in that first half. Just speaks to the amount of ammunition that Melbourne United have now that they've filled that point guard position and got Chris Golding back on the floor.
Spot on. Their 4-time Olympian David Anderson, their leading scorer so far this season, Melbourne United, and they haven't relied on him to do that tonight. Golding and Ware out there.
I just want to go back. That would just drive a coach crazy to come out like 3 times you already hadn't gotten a shot, and then to start the second half, turn the ball over. As a coach, that would just drive you mad.
After spending the entire half talking about trying to execute and get through possessions.
There's their first 3 of the night, finally.
Big time knockdown by Travis Trice. Really important bucket for the Cairns Taipans.
Get some confidence back. Now a 0 of 9 before that. Golding steps back and he drops one back in your face.
So one thing he does really well coming off those screens.
Trice, so he just stole the energy straight back off Cairns. So we're going from one end to the other, and Travis Trice starting to turn it on.
This is entertaining. I like this. Travis Trice and Chris Golding, 2 prolific scorers just going back to back.
Trice looks at Ware. Says, I got you covered. I've been here a little longer than you.
Good conversation going on there, isn't there?
Casper Ware, Long Beach State. A short stint in the NBA. Here he is on cue, and Travis Trice from Michigan State. And Golding pulls up for 3. Worthington pulls down the bucket. Way. Out wide to Glidden. Back to Way. Jawai.
Good seal.
Muscles in and drops the 2 in. They're on the way back.
Great offense from Cairns. There you go. Dropping that ball in Nate. He's just got to finish down there.
It's a little quieter in here at the moment. Cairns have brought more energy and they get a turnover.
Offensive foul.
Offensive foul on Anderson, I think.
Away game.
Yep, little nudge to the back.
That's David Anderson's 3rd foul now. Dean Demopoulos looking to get him out of the game. Ty Wesley will replace him.
It's already 33 fouls, man, and 3 of them were ticking time. That's a
And
warning
Demopoulos
here,
letting
guys.
them know. He doesn't mind letting them know it.
He's not shy. Is he?
Cairns' defense looks more energetic coming out this half, especially after you hit a couple of shots. It's amazing what it could do for your defense.
And they really feed from that, don't they? They're a team that really relies on locking their opponent down and running out of that.
Glidden can turn it on as well. Golding right with him. Trice. Jawai. Madjuk right with him. Jawai turns baseline. The reverse from the big boy.
Just so agile down there. That's 140 kilos. Little spin move baseline. That is tough to defend.
And they're on the way back. It's single figures this lead right now. And David Anderson having a sit down, their leading scorer with 3 fouls. And they're not on the same page there. Wesley to mop up the little mess. Bam!
A great upfake from Ty Wesley.
He's just so poised on the offensive end of the floor, isn't he? In that low block, he knows how to take his time. And that time on the perimeter, knowing the Trice was just going to fly by with that little up fake. So under control, the big fella.
Jawai again. Looks Madjuk in the eye and pulls the foul. But it's from the side.
Loving the intent of Nate Jawai to start this second half. They've gone at him a number of times now. He's had success the last 2 times down the floor, and like we spoke about at half-time, once they get that going and Melbourne United start having to send double teams and sinking in on that, that's going to open it up for their guards on the perimeter.
Well, they can score quickly, Cairns. They've got a 98-point game to their name this season. Jawai under the bucket. Turns, shoots, and he's hot.
The big fella's eating.
Yes, he is. 3 in a row. 3 in a row for Big Nick Jawai.
Ware. Madjuk back to Ware. Takes on Worthington. Odeji from the corner. He can't deliver, but a good rebound, Wesley. He's pulled a few big ones down. Golding! Brought the crowd back into it again.
And look, that's a huge hit by Chris Golding, but once again, the Cairns Taipans giving up another offensive rebound, which led to that bucket. Aaron Fern must be pulling his hair out.
Trice down the other end. Where was this in the first half?
Loving the confidence from Travis Trice as well, just pulling up in transition.
Oh, that's Bawea.
Oh, here we go.
He knows where they are now.
Mano Ibano.
It's a 3-point party, boys.
Glidden. And Melbourne United ball. Chris Golding looks at the crowd. He's having an impact. He looks at Aaron Fern as well, having an argument. Some pressure on Melbourne United. Dean Demopoulos admitted it to us pre-game. You're under pressure if you lose 3 in a row, 5 in a row.
Moving from deep up that offensive rebound.
Dean Demopoulos is stalking the sideline right now.
Yeah, he is. There's no doubt there's pressure building for Melbourne United. This is a big game for them.
From outside again, Castro Ware. Glidden the rebound. So both coaches up talking to different refs at the moment. The 3. Rims out from Stephen Way.
I'll do it.
Travis Trice thought about it. Almost turned it over to the corner. Way. Golding shut him down. Goes all the way himself. Foul. He'll go to the line. Stephen Way. And he's 100% from the free throw line. So you can put these 2 in the book.
That was a great up fake for Way. He can shoot that 3, so you got to close him out hard. Great penetration to the baseline.
He's really picked up the tempo in the last few weeks, Stephen Way. He was down at around that sort of 15 minutes a game for the Cairns Taipans. Inserted into the starting lineup tonight. Coach Aaron Fern obviously liking what he's been seeing out of him over the last month.
They need to put this one in the bank, Melbourne United. Their next 2 games might be at home. But they've got Sydney coming up next, and then New Zealand. They need to start banking some wins in a hurry.
Doing like this, right?
As I mentioned earlier, double header coming your way tomorrow night. Adelaide and Brisbane. And And Sydney and Perth go at it again. When Jerome Randall is putting on a show, you do not want to miss it. And that's what he intends to do for the 36ers tomorrow night. Arguably the best player in the comp, Jerome Randall. And then arguably the best coach in the comp, Andrew Gaze. It's worth watching that game just for the halftime interview from Andrew Gaze, if not for the game itself.
It's definitely entertaining to watch on those sidelines. You see every bit of emotion through his face, and he just wears his heart on his sleeve out there.
5:30 tomorrow night. Check your local guys for the early game from Titanium Security Arena, Adelaide 36ers and the Brisbane Bullets. 49-36 here.
It's amazing that the way the Cairns came out, and when you look at the score, Melbourne United is still up 13 points. Something has to change defensively for Cairns to get themselves back in this game. They're scoring down on this end, but they're giving the ball back. They're giving these guys easy shots on the other end.
It's like they've reversed the first half, isn't it? They were really struggling to get points on the board in that first half. Now they're doing that, but they can't get it clicking down the other end of the floor.
Mr. 100% drops the first one.
Not too early. What?
Speaking of 100%, David Anderson, 19 of 19 from the free throw line so far this season, and Tommy Jervis, 21 of 21. Oh, boy. So we've got a few that are hot from the free throw line, and that man right there, Stephen Way, is one of them. 11-point game. Ware. Ty Wesley. Barlow. Golding from the opposite corner. Oh, net.
That was great ball movement from Melbourne.
They are 100% a different look team now that Casper Ware is out there. That ball movement, we haven't seen that from Melbourne United in the last 6 outings.
Egwu to Glidden. Trice. Cairns are going to just have to keep doing it. Egwu back out to Wertho. He knows where they are here. Doesn't find it there. Devin Williams the rebound. Castleware. Golding not from there. Surely not.
He is absolutely feeling it, ain't he? You can tell he couldn't wait to get back.
Look at this. He's 1.5 meters behind. Just launches that one up from the hip.
And down the other end, Stephen Way delivers.
Right back at you from Stephen over to Stephen Way.
You have to give it to the Cairns Tide fans. They know how to hang in there. Stephen Way, that was a big hit for them.
And Ware takes it all the way himself. Off the glass. Third term has been outstanding. Way. Got Wesley in the air for another one.
Big fella.
He could be the man. Golding. Not over yet, this one. 3:25 left in the third.
Stevie Way can have these types of nights.
Golding.
Just good take. Just a great take by Chris Golding. Knew he had the slower footed Stevie Way on him. Went right by to the rim.
That ankle is looking just fine at the moment.
No issues.
Glidden takes it himself, draws the foul. And we'll go to the free throw line. Cam Glidden, he's 82% from there, so you think he'd put both of these in and still keep them alive.
Come out.
Good to see Cam probing the lane, get himself to the line. Maybe a couple of free throws can get him going.
Well, I'm jealous of Neroli Meadows. She's downstairs with a couple of people that I've been watching for the last couple of months. Richie and Alex. Neroli, come in.
That is right, Dwayne. Richie, you're a big fan of basketball. Are you enjoying this showing by Melbourne United?
I absolutely am. What a night to come down here. The boys are turning it up. I'm having such a fun night. This is great.
80s date night. Now, Alex, if you could nominate one of the blokes out there on the court tonight as the next Bachelor, who would it be?
It would definitely have to be Chris Golding. He is absolutely turning it up. Look at him go.
It's true. He really is putting on a show out there, Dwayne.
Well, Neroli, Kiss Cam's about to go on them, so I suggest you get out of the middle in a hurry if you can.
Dwayne, you can't be too jealous, mate. I saw you blushing on the sidelines, running up there for a photo pre-game.
Yeah, I got to a selfie.
Wait for the Instagram post. It's on its way.
Let's change the subject, shall we? Chris Golding's shooting chart. There you go. That's how he's mapping them out. And look at the zeros from outside the arc.
And look, he really is such an important factor for Melbourne United. You spoke about Cam Glidden before the game, how he goes, so does the team. For me, that's pretty similar of Chris Golding. And we see he's been turning it on here tonight, 8 of 15 from the field for those 24 points. And we've still got a quarter and a half to play.
It's great that he can come off injury and have his best game. You can tell he's been looking forward to getting back.
And how tough is that, D-Mac, coming back off injury? I know you weren't injured much in your time, but, you know, going through all that rehab, how hard is it to get that feel back?
It's pretty tough. You know, you want to get out there, you want to do everything. You know what I mean? You don't want to mess up. I don't see that in Chris Goulden. Chris Goulden is out there balling. Like like I said, he wanted to come back, and he's proven that.
And how much is that to do with confidence, you know, knowing that you've got that back to 100% healthy, and you can just play your natural game?
You do that, you pick it up in training. You train all week, see how you can go, and then once the game comes, you're right back to where you started.
The voices of Tommy Greer, NBL champ, and Darryl McDonald, 3-time NBL champ with us for the commentary tonight. Great to have them.
Oh, mate, 3-time.
Leading to the line. Kaplan's going to have to deliver. Travis Trice is going to have to deliver. Stephen Way's already got the scoring momentum for Cairns. Melbourne's been able to match them in this third, and we've got another timeout. So they have called for an extra timeout to review these scores, 59 to 43, just to make sure they're correct.
You've got to make sure you keep attacking the paint. Now, you need to go to the paint to score. We're not going in there trying to just draw fouls, we're trying to score. All right, you've done a pretty good job this quarter of attacking the paint and then finding the perimeter. All right, so make sure you keep doing that. Next play down for us, let's run a Horns handoff. All right, be aggressive off that thing. You come off there, you're open, let it go. If not, you got the down pick at the end, look in. All right, if you're open as you come off that pick, shoot that set. All right?
Just thinking about, you guys, you said it earlier about Cal Edmond and the energy that he's bringing. Damian Hyatt hasn't played a lot, and I think he's a guy that's played well for them over the last couple of games. Hasn't gotten a lot of time today.
All right, you're going right to the rim on any kind of crap they do.
There you go. Hope you got that at home.
That's a really good point, D-Mac, especially after last week. Damian Hyatt had that 15 points. That was his best of the season. And that's what he does. He gets on the rim. He's a great penetrator. He could really, really help Cairns down the stretch here.
Yeah, good to see Stephen Way putting in a couple of threes to keep them alive. They sorted out the score. The Cairns have had some controversy in the last week or so. They had the blackout game last week. By the way, if we get a blackout now, Melbourne win. 59 to 43. All net with the first, Cam Glidden.
Moore back, Dave Barlow back, Devin Williams back. And Cairns, Jeff Weeks, and Edwin back.
Casper Ware set it all up again.
2-3 zone again for the Cairns Taipans.
To Ramon Moore. Wesley's been hot from outside. Not that time.
Oh,
Weeks dives in. He did well. Little Jared Weeks with that hassle.
Incredible hustle by Agent 97 that time, and that's the sort of thing that can really inspire a team and get them going down that end of the floor.
Here's what they were looking at, whether Stephen Way's foot was on the line and it was a 2 or a 3. And I'm not sure they even are so sure yet.
Well, it's really tough to tell from those two angles. In the spirit of the game, you give it to him, don't you?
Well, you wouldn't want to give him only 2 and have them lose by 1.
That's it.
Weeks from the free throw line delivers. Still alive. 59-47. Tomlinson calling the shots at the moment. Harlow pulling some seconds off the shot clock as well. Big Nate Jarwai to get past. No getting past the block of Flaps. Worthington down the other end. Takes it himself off the glass. Didn't work. Williams held his ground.
I don't mind that from Mark Worthington. He's been doing that all season. That's been a part of the staple for the Cairns Taipans. I wouldn't mind seeing more of that, him pushing the tempo off those defensive rebounds.
Almost the turnover again. Moore. Wesley, late in the shot clock, he's going to have to put it up. Just two left, turns on Worthington. It was ugly, but it was good.
He is just incredible in that low block. He's got all the spins, all the up fakes, little shimmies. I've got no idea how he knocks those things down.
And Ty Wesley had just 2 points only, shooting 1 of 10 a week ago. It's amazing how you can be hot and cold. Glidden, Weeks, thought about it. He's been cold. Edwin. All right, someone else can get it going.
The ball better. Kansas shooting the ball better in this half.
Edwin's been their #1 scorer on average past 6 games, so he's going to have to deliver now. Moore showed him no respect, and he drops it in.
And he's been a little quiet. He was 1 of 5 before that one. That'll fill him with a little bit of confidence going in this fourth quarter.
The margin right now is 14 as Weeks is fouled, the same margin as it was at half-time. So even though Cairns have had a lot better third quarter, Melbourne's still getting the scoreboard ticking over as well.
And what a pass by Big Nate Jarwai. That was an absolute bullet to Agent 97 on that cut.
That's Cairns' offense. You know, they get little cuts and things out of their offense. Subs, McCarron, Egwu. And for Cairns, Cairns been going back into a 2-3 zone, and a 1-2-2 back to a 2-3 zone.
And so how would Melbourne United attack something like that, D-Mac? What's the strategy when people go back into those zones and try and clog it up in the paint?
It's always trying to get the ball to the middle. So in the middle, then they come back out and move, just, you know, to be able to pin, just moving the ball around the perimeter never breaks the zone. Penetration versus the zone is always good. So once get that ball in the middle is how you can just break it down a little bit.
So once they penetrate or get in the middle, the defense collapses and it opens up the shooters on the perimeter.
Tomlinson, he was left free as well. Rims out and Weeks pulls down the rebound. Chance to eat into this lead. 40 seconds left. Wortho lost it for a second. And the foul. Tomlinson commits it. What are you doing, Nate? He wasn't happy with Tomlinson committing that foul. I'm not sure Tomlinson wanted to commit it, but he just got a little overzealous there.
Oh, look, I don't mind that from Nate Tomlinson. He's clearly mismatched in the block. He had to try something in order to get Wortho out of position, not let him back him right down into the paint. No one likes that feeling.
I think Dean was upset because he's seen Barlow going to help him out.
Wortho rarely misses. 36 of 38 so far this season from the free throw line. That's somewhere up around 95%, 96%. So you'd expect this to go. And they'll get another possession before three-quarter time as well, as you see the faces put up in the crowd. It's Chris Goulding face as well in the crowd. To try and put the free throw shooter off.
It's an important stop here for the Cairns Taipans. Got it back to 10 points. They don't want that extending any more before the start of the fourth quarter.
Melbourne United coming off 5 losses in a row. Could get a little shaky if there's some scoreboard pressure on them. Tomlinson takes it himself. Rims out. Big Wortho pulls it down. Last shot for Cairns. Can they make it a single-figure margin? Edwin. 5 seconds left. Barlow in his face. Pulls up for 3. Oh, baby! Have we got a game coming up here? one, Edwards. We have got a contest. All night, Cairns haven't been in it, but at three-quarter time, suddenly they're back. 57-64. Don't go anywhere. A 35-point quarter for the Cairns Taipans. They outscored Melbourne United in the third quarter by 7. And at one stage, Melbourne United looked as if they were going to put Cairns away. Nope. It's a very difficult job putting the Cairns Taipans away, and we've got a game with a quarter left, 64-57.
Look, these Taipans, speaking with people around the league, I spoke with Rob Beveridge the other day. He considers the Taipans one of the best teams in the league. So they're not going anywhere.
Golding, Melbourne United need a nerve settler. That's not it, Worthington. Crowd a little restless. Big Wortho steps back, thought about it. That would have been huge. And he put that three in. Weeks won't put it up, you wouldn't think. He's been cold. Suddenly it's hot again. He's had a horrible time of it.
Cairns have gotten themselves back in this game, making 6 threes in this half.
Just the confidence of the Taipans right now. Fuquan Edwin ending the quarter with that disrespectful three-pointer.
Well, Ware showed no respect. It rims out and Golding pulls the rebound down. Barlow, Anderson, got 3 fouls to his name. Out on the dribble, points waved off. And Jared Weeks, he came into this game shooting 5 of 23 the past 4 games. And all of a sudden he decides to bite off a three-pointer and drops it. Those points won't count. Dave Anderson not happy about it. There's some pressure on Melbourne here.
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned it before, but the Taipans managed to keep this thing close down the stretch. There is no doubt that the United players are going to start to feel it. They've dropped 5 in a row. The pressure's going to build.
On 21, Nana Ingwood, yes.
Golding. Dean Demopoulos has to pull something out of the fire here. Dean Demopoulos has won just 5 of his past 17 games as coach. Barlow. That'll make him feel a little better.
That's his shot. Get that ball 2 feet, pull up in the paint.
There he is, Dean Demopoulos. No wonder he's got a concerned look on his face. He doesn't want to see 6 losses in a row.
Tight. Watch though. Party.
McCarron never looked good, but Worthington pulls the rebound down. Oh, McCarron That'll look better. Puts the 2 in and silences the crowd again.
Great pass by Mark Worthington. Just took his time, found the cutting Mitch McCarron for the easy layup.
There's the quarter-by-quarter scores. Huge comeback from Cairns, and Casper Ware, the runner. Majuk cleans it up.
Juk for Juk on the offensive glass.
And even that, Casper Ware didn't finish that one, but that's something they haven't had in the past 5-6 games. Just someone penetrating and getting on the rim.
Egwu, Wertho, passed up a few from there, drops that one big time.
Oh boy, and he's having a word as well. He is having a word to these celebrities on the sideline, back down the floor. This thing's not done. Wertho's in the house.
And this is his old house. There was a time when he owned it. Here's the man who owns it now. Golding for 3. Never looked good. Follow the rebound with a foul. And it's been called on McCarron.
That was a tough call.
Mitch McCarron a little unlucky on that one. Looked like he had decent position going in there. Hey, good effort though by David Barlow.
Play in the front.
Majuk back out to Anderson for 3. And their leading scorer so far this season all of a sudden can't find it. Worthington, he can. Edwin, back to Wertho. Barlow in his face. Comes out. United ball. Every NBL game this season has delivered, and we've got another one right now. Casper Ware. Cairns just don't go away. Ware's got a little cold with his shooting. Lets Anderson do the job. He's stripped. Weeks. Oh, takes it himself. Got the foul in the way. Waved off anyway. Didn't drop.
I think that zone is making Melbourne a little bit stagnant.
And how about that little dribble move there by Jared Weeks in transition? Little crossover. Opened up the lane for him, allowed him to get on the rim. Couldn't quite finish it. That's a good point, D-Mac. That 2-3 zone's really starting to be effective for the Cairns Taipans. Melbourne United just look a little uncomfortable down that end. David Anderson trying to penetrate, put it on the floor, losing control.
Again, just getting the ball to the middle and try to get the ball to the middle and create something. A little bit of penetration versus the zone.
They could tie it up here, Cairns. Demopoulos not happy, as you can hear in the background. Apologies for that. Foul on the way to the bucket. And he will go to the line for a couple, will Edwin. And this could make it a 1-point game.
And look, there's no doubt that that 2-3 zone has played an impact here, but Fuquan Edwin has really started to lead the way after knocking down that shot at the end of three-quarter time. Great penetration move that time, earning himself a trip to the charity stripe. He can really stand up now in this fourth quarter and lead the charge.
63% from here. That one looked good. He's an American from Seton Hall. He's been playing in Israel and Venezuela. He's realising his NBA dream might not happen.
What are you saying to the guys in this sort of situation? If you're Dean Demopoulos, D-Mac, you've lost 5 on the trot. Things are tightening up a little bit. What are you telling them when you bring them in?
I think they got to defend. They're not playing that same defense they was playing in the first half. All Kansas shots are wide open threes. Early in the first half, they was closing out to those shots. Not the same now. And what happens on that closeout is penetration.
Almost a steal as well. 100% from the free throw line so far tonight. Cairns and Dean Demopoulos, who's won just 5 of his past 17 games as United coach, is getting a little hot under the collar. Where? And Fern calling zone. Where from way outside. Edwin the rebound. And this is turning. The momentum's changed. Edwin steps back. They could take the lead. Glidden, of all people. Foul under the bucket. And it's a United ball.
Just got to give so much credit to the Cairns Taipans. After that first half of basketball, to be able to just stay mentally in this game and committed to it. Aaron Fern just doing a tremendous job keeping these guys locked in, and they've done it all season. That's why they're so tough to beat. That's why they're so tough to beat, especially at home.
The United ball after all that. It's a one-point game. United led by 14 at half-time, clinging to a one-point lead. Casper Ware, been in town for 3 days, and he turns it over. Weeks, this is for the lead. And he was fouled.
That zone is a bit of a matchup. You know, they match it out as guys go, somebody picks them up. I think that's a combination of it, and I say this, that's Gordy McLeod. Gordy McLeod used to run that when he was at Wollongong. Anytime somebody comes, you take it. The next guy comes, you take it. You know, you leave your guards up top, you leave the bigs down low. And I think it's working. It's keeping Melbourne stagnant.
Absolutely, it's working. Something we mentioned earlier, and Kent's offense really feeds from it, doesn't it? They're getting out in transition now, something we didn't see in the first half.
For the lead! Oh, it's getting hot now, boy!
Jared Weeks does not mind a moment, does he? He loves stepping up to the plate.
It's a pressure cooker right now at high sets. They've taken the lead. Wesley for the 2 down the other end, and we're all square with 5.5 left.
And oh man, did they need that one, just to calm them down a little bit, get a few points on the board.
Great pass from Weir versus the zone.
Everybody takes a breath. Big Worthy backs it out. Wesley in his face. Thought about taking him on. Pulls up for the 2 and made it look easy.
One-on-one from Worthy against Wesley.
Romain Moore, who's a little cold. Casper Ware, who's gone a little cold. Wesley gives it back to him. He pulls the foul, and one. It's waved off. It's waved off.
No continuation.
That was an incredible finish by Casper Ware. But just leading into this, just no ball movement on the perimeter there against the zone. It was a little pass-to-pass between Casper Ware and Ty Wesley before he was forced to put that move on and actually penetrate the zone. But by then, it's too late in the shot clock. You're just starting to force things at that point.
It's interesting. Melbourne's not running anything versus the zone.
Golding was hot earlier. Double team there. Ware, 4 on the shot clock. 3 on the shot clock. 2 on the shot clock. Williams stripped. This is getting uglier by the second for Melbourne United.
The Taipans have just lifted defensively. Their hands in the lane. They're up in the bodies of the Melbourne United players.
Worthy. He won't choke, you wouldn't think. Devin Williams almost had it stripped, and he's fouled. United ball.
That was a little bit of a heat check there by Mark Worthington. He's back in his old house. He's feeling good. And he was ready to silence this crowd with that 3-ball.
Talked about how big a game this is for Melbourne United, given they've lost their last 5 games in a row and they're last on the NBL ladder. If the Cairns Taipans win this, they're back inside the top 4 against all odds again. And Devin Williams, who's 33% only from the free throw line, rims the first one out. He's not great from here.
This is crunch time. In 4 minutes to go. As Dave Anderson's not in foul trouble, is he? He needs to be on the floor.
Devin Williams needs to drop this, and does. It rattled its way down. And they desperately needed that.
Come in. And then he turns around and gives me an answer like, oh, well, he's about to shoot it, I can't call it. Oh, it's a garbage answer. Right home.
Gotta love that access here in the coach's opinions about each and every call.
Someone's going to have to get their big boy pants on now for Melbourne United. They trail by 1. Edwin takes on Wesley, goes to the hole, flicks away. Wortho. Edward for 2, and it drops.
And big Nana Egwu, he's got that in his bag of tricks. That little 12-footer, that's part of his game. You have to defend that one.
Golding, can he be the hero? You bet he can! types of moments.
That's the problem with his own. You don't get matched up.
Edwin, Wertho, Weeks, and it won't count. It will not count.
It's been waved away. Mark Worthington's been called for an illegal screen after that handoff to Jared Weeks. Here it is again. Just a little handoff and him sidestepping into the body of Casper Ware. Didn't quite establish position.
This is why you gotta love the NBL. Melbourne back in the lead.
Where else in the world would you rather be? 76-74. Worthington. Cairns are not done yet. Edwin, Golding with him. Off the glass. Doesn't drop. Huge rebound. Chris Golding doing it at both ends. The crowd start to rise.
And Chris Golding really has lifted after that three-point shot. Had the assist to David Anderson. Defensive stop down the other end. He's trying to stand up and lead his team to a win.
Anderson! No. Chris Golding's been out for 5 games, and Melbourne United have lost all 5 of them.
And the Taipans are great at this. They'll get through a set. Aaron Byrne has drilled execution offensively into this team.
Glidden for 3. They're going to let him die by it.
Cam Glidden is one of the most clutch players in the NBL that we have. What a knockdown.
And that's for 3 at the other end. And foul under the basket. It's not Ware's foul. He thought he was fouled on the three-point attempt for a second. It was called under the bucket.
I think that foul was called on Dave Anderson.
He is in trouble.
That gives him his 4th.
And this one could go to overtime yet. Well, right now, I hate to say it, if there's a blackout, Cairns win.
Back man to man.
They've had some drama.
Man to man. How do you want to guard the on balls? Drops. Okay. Next play. Listen. Okay, listen up. Next play for us. I want to run triple drift. Triple drift. All right? So, looks like you're going to go the Foo side, but come back and go get Cam. Now listen, Foo and Cam, I want both of you to go under. All right? Both of you to go underneath. Cam's going to catch a ball on the wing. This big guy needs to sprint out into the on ball. And then Cam, you rip hard baseline. Side screen, keep it legal.
It's been highlight after highlight after highlight in this second half. The Cairns Taipans have come from 14 down at halftime to lead by 1 with 2 minutes left. What a comeback.
And look, that is the incredible thing about basketball in the NBL. It's such a game of momentum. And with all the superstars we have in the league, things can turn quickly. We saw the Taipans in the second quarter, well, actually in the first half, had the lowest scorers half of any team in the NBL this year. Followed that up in the third quarter by the highest scoring quarter. Such a game of momentum.
Just going back to Cairns timeout. They'll come back out in the man-to-man. And he was speaking about how they want to play pick and rolls, and they all said they want to get into drops. All drops is pushing that ball away from the screen. So not letting the pick and roll get to the screen. And I think they want to make sure they rotate into David Anderson.
This would be a crushing blow for Melbourne United if they lose this one after being 14 up. Glidden. Wesley Wright with him. Weeks, who's lit it up. That was horrible. Williams. United can take the lead back. Golding for 3. Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable. And he is lights out now. He came off that screen. Casual as you like. Set that thing up. That thing came down with rain on it.
He saluted that. And it was halfway through the air. Glidden. Jawai. Stolen. Ty Wesley. Big play.
Huge steal by Ty Wesley. And this one will really hurt. Melbourne United can put a point on the board here. This will really put the Taipans in some strife.
I know who I'll be looking to get a shot for.
Where? Under the basket. Devin Williams. He's been the whipping boy all season, Devin Williams. He might be the hero tonight.
That was a great pass from Casper way off the penetration. He had one of those early in the first half.
And here's Chris Goulding just catching that one in stride, gave it a whole lot of arc, and then looked at his adoring fans in Hisense Arena. Get out your seats.
Well, game after game after game, this has happened. It's going to go down to the wire again. 1 minute left. The Cairns Taipans looking for the win to get back into the top 4. Come from 14 down to the half. Melbourne United under immense pressure. Their coach Dean Demopoulos under immense pressure. Came into this with 5 losses in a row. What can they draw up here with a minute left to save this one and get their season back on track?
Well, best believe this game is not over. Coach Aaron Fern has got more than a couple of tricks up his sleeve to finish this thing out.
He'll come up with something. Be interesting to see who he's going to get a shot for. I think you made a point earlier that he doesn't run it for nobody specific. It's whatever's open.
That's right. They've got such an enormous playbook. You know, they run parts of the shuffle, they run parts of the flow, they run parts of horns. They've got little sort of samples of all these offenses in their playbook that he can call on when needed. Just so much structure to that Cairns Taipans team.
All 5 of them on the floor right now can score. Glidden, Worthington, Weeks, Jawai, and Edwin. And here's Wortho.
Jared.
Edwin flicks it back out. Weeks. Did Wesley touch it?
And look, they drew that thing up.
One ref said Wesley touched it, one didn't, but it's still a Cairns ball.
That was a good set by the Taipans. I saw them run that at shoot-around today. That was for Jared Weeks in the corner all day. Little diversion play.
And there's the foul. Ramon Moore called for the foul. The crowd on the edge of their seats. I know you are at home as well, especially if you're watching in Cairns right now. Another game that's lived up to the expectations. 54 seconds left. Edwin to the free throw line. He's 63% from here.
Big free throws. These two to make it a 2-point game.
Played some summer league in the USA for Oklahoma City and New Orleans, and at one stage looked like San Antonio would grab him. Good by Edwin. This is what you play for, moments like this.
You mentioned 63% from the foul line. He was brought out here for his defensive skills. Lately, he's been leading him offensively. We'll find out what he's made of now with the pressure building on him down the stretch. He needs to knock these two down.
No, it makes this even tougher. He was on the line in the Sydney game. Missed one, made one. Kevin Lish came down and won the game at the buzzer. He needs this.
I'm sure you'll, no doubt, talk about whether he makes them or doesn't make them in this last 54 seconds again, because everybody knows when it comes down to the crunch.
And
we've got to show some cool heads out there right now.
Good substitutions there by Aaron Fern. I'm expecting they're going to switch everything down the stretch here. They've got in a small 4 and 5 in Wortho and Stephen Way. They're looking to switch everything so no one can get an open look.
Who's the cool head man here for United?
Edwin looked like he's trying to get in Goulding's head.
Can they make it a 2-possession game? Castaway rejected. They come up with the stop. A 2 to tie it, a 3 for the lead. See the shot clock, game clock differential. Melbourne United will get it back regardless. Glidden, it winds down. Oh my goodness. Wesley the rebound. The crowd go off. a two-possession game with 7 seconds left. These two free throws are massive for Melbourne United's season and for Ramon Moore.
It's hard to know if the feeling here in the arena is nerves or excitement at the moment. After the 5 losses, it just feels like this crowd is just so anxious for a win.
Dean Demopoulos knows how important it is, and Darryl McDonald just told you about Edwin's miss against Sydney and what happened. The same could happen here. Cairns will get it back with 7 left. He drops both of these. It's a 4-point game, 2-possession game.
One drops easy. Ramon Moore is a very cool character. His personality is exactly the same, very calm. Takes most things in stride.
Nothing but net.
That now makes it very difficult for the Cairns Taipans. 2-possession game if they're going to come away with a win.
We talked about how big this is for Melbourne. They've got some massive games coming up as well. They face Sydney. They've got a couple of home games coming up. Sydney and then New Zealand. And then Perth away. There might not be a tougher trip in the NBL than Perth away. Well, they might be. It could be Sydney away after that. That's how big it is for Melbourne United to get this one in the bank now. And for Aaron Byrne. Tough run for them as well, but at least they're home. Next game against New Zealand. This one not quite cooked just yet. They need something crazy. But we've seen crazy so far in the NBL this year.
Crazy, that's what the NBL does. This is what we deliver. Crazy finishes. And with players like Travis Trice, Cammy Glidden, Mark Worthington out there, Jared Weeks has had some big moments here tonight. Anything's possible for the Taipans.
Interesting to see what he comes up with. I know it's a 4-point game, 7 seconds. As a coach, what do you do? Do you get the quick 2 and foul? Or do you go for the 3? What do you do?
I think it's pretty similar to what we're saying. He'll probably go to one of his more quick hitter sets. I would expect him to be looking inside, potentially even work your way to the foul line. But it's got to be quick. You've got no time to waste.
30-point game in his return game for Chris Golding. Shows how much they've missed him. He's been out for 5. They've lost all 5. They lead by 4. 7 seconds left. Glidden. Edwin takes it in for the quick 2. And it didn't drop. And it's over. That's all she wrote. The losing streak is over for Melbourne United.
And listen to the crowd, listen to the relief and the excitement here at Hisense Arena. Everyone's on their feet. The boys are back in town.
They are. They couldn't be more happy. Like you said, you didn't know whether it was excitement or anxiety, and whether they was going to get the win or not.
Now they're just checking to see if there's 1 second left on the clock here.
Big
They're
Nate
just checking it out. There's still 1 second left on the clock, we're told. So the free throws will happen. Ty Wesley. But he can virtually rim one of these out. The second one if he likes, and it's done. Dean Demopoulos, a relieved man. Melbourne United came into this last on the NBL ladder. Massive expectations pre-season. They've changed imports. Cedric Jackson's departed. Casper Ware, the 26-year-old from Long Beach State, has arrived.
And these are still important. On head-to-head late in the season, it's very likely that the Taipans and Melbourne United could be fighting for that 3rd or 4th spot in the playoffs. So this will go back on the head-to-head margin.
Drops the second one. 1.5 seconds left, we're told, in total. Flick to the side and rejected anyway. And now the roar. Now the place goes off. $84-79, the final scoreline at a Hisense Arena, a full house, and Melbourne United have delivered. Just another crazy night at the NBL office. Another close one that went down to the final seconds. Melbourne United, which did lead by 14 at half-time, conceded the lead to Cairns after a massive comeback. But then we saw the Chris Golding show, and after 5 games out for 5 losses, Melbourne United fans pretty happy to have him back. Tommy Greer, Darryl McDonald watched it unfold, and it was just a delight to be here to see Chris Golding in that kind of form again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do you think that man was frustrated with missing the past 5 or so games? He came out like a man possessed and just carried this team back to the promised land.
Well, he carries a swagger, he carries a big smile, and Nerily Meadows is with him right now. Nerily.
Well, you've been out for a month, but you have not missed a beat. 30 points.
Yeah, it felt good to be back out there. I've been stressing on the bench, trying to figure out a way to help the guys. So I'm glad we could come out, integrate Casper, get some more minutes into Barlow, keep everyone playing well and get a win.
They certainly came hard at you. 35 points they scored in that third quarter. It was a big job to get it done. Yeah,
it was. I mean, they went to a zone. We got a little bit complacent when we were up about 14-16, so we were lucky to pluck that one out, but it feels good to get a win in front of these fans.
Congratulations, you are the Ladbrokes player of the game, and you get a win on the board. Well done.
Thank you.
It's good to have his swagger back, and it was good to have his 30 points as well tonight. Another phenomenal performance by Chris Golding, and really it was highlights of plenty after half-time. Let's have a look at the Telstra highlights right now, because everybody seemed to, when it was their time, deliver.
Yeah, look, they really did, and for me, it all got going with Casper, where when this crowd and Melbourne United saw him knock down that first 3-pointer, it felt like everyone breathed a sigh of relief, and confidence started to grow. Chris Golding knocked one down, and then it was sort of like the boys are back. Here we go. We can all feel confident again, knowing our superstars are back on the floor.
But they got a little shaky late, Darryl.
They did. I think that zone really had them stagnated. This is a win, though. This is a win that can get them over the top. You know, they got Sydney coming in here next week after losing to Sydney last week. Maybe this is the one that can wake them up.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. Check your local guides, because it seems as if every NBL game we've had this year has been close and it's gone down to the final seconds. It's been amazing, really. And of course, tomorrow night, we've got a doubleheader coming your way. And it starts with the early game. As I said, check your local guides, but it's 5:30 Adelaide time tomorrow night. Eastern Standard Time, I should say, tomorrow night. 5 o'clock Adelaide time, Adelaide 36ers and the Brisbane Bullets. That's the first of the doubleheader, and then it's the Kings up against the Wildcats after that. There should be another huge night for NBL.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that Kings-Wildcats match was fantastic last night. Looking to see what Andrew Gaze has up the sleeve in order to sort of reverse the fortunes of the Sydney Kings.
Absolutely, and right now Melbourne United, after that win tonight, Darryl, still a contender.
That's the one thing I say about the league. Yeah, I don't think they was ever out of it. You know, the league is just too close. Get a couple of wins on the board, now they're back in the top 4.
Thanks for your company tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here and watch this one unfold. In the end, it unfolded as Melbourne United hoped it would. Melbourne United by 5. We thought it would be close, but it was right down to the final second. Melbourne United, which did lead by 14 at halftime, ending up winning by 5, but Cairns had a chance to steal it. In fact, they led into the last quarter. Another magnificent night of NBL from Hisense Arena. Full house. Tommy Greer watched it unfold, and it was a delight to be here, Tommy.
Yeah, it really was. Really exciting game tonight. Credit to the Cairns Taipans putting up that fight in the third quarter. They put up 35 points in that quarter, highest scoring quarter of the season for any team so far this year. But in the end, not enough to get over the might of Chris Goulding and Melbourne United.
Yeah, when Chris Goulding, and he's been out for 5 weeks with an ankle injury, and he looked as if he was going to turn it on early, but then he almost saved his best to turn it on late when they needed him most.
Yeah, look, fair to say this man was quite frustrated sitting on the sidelines for those 5 or so games, and he came out like a man on a mission, led by Casper Ware early. He took some confidence out of that, and he just started getting it going from range, and Hisense Arena certainly appreciated it.
As you said, credit to Cairns. They're still a contender for the championship, but Melbourne United, if they'd lost tonight, probably weren't going to be a contender for the championship. They're bottom of the NBL ladder, but they do have Goulding back. They've got their new recruit, their import Casper Ware, and they've got to win finally after 5 losses in a row. Melbourne United tonight at home by 5.
Standing by to check the presser when you have a sec. 111, 111. This is 1. 111, 111, 111, 111. And 2, 222, 222. This is 2, 222, 222. 12, 12, 12. Sorry, say that again. Okay.